like we were having a.
We'll start. It's a little early.
Nah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, but like you had that's like. Did y'all watch that episode with Seinfeld and Eddie Murphy?
Yeah,
on, Comedians in Cars. Yeah. And he was like, because people have so many options, there's a lack of greatness.
Yeah,
that shit was so deep, yo.
That one stuck to me because like your mind is all scattered all over the place. I'm going through that right now, where it's just like focusing on maybe even one or two things. But yeah, it's just so many things to do.
Yeah, because like you guys have the podcast and like I have mine, and it's like we were forced to be like, look, all right, I want to do this because it seemed like that's what you're dealing with, scatterbrains.
Yeah,
everybody's all over the place,
and you like gotta keep put my foot somewhere and like communicating with these people because there's half the world that doesn't know about this, and then now these people like podcasts or whatever it is. It's like
then you got the people that are like popular from social media, then they'll try stand up, and it's just like that.
And then they have a following, so they're gonna get the stage time.
They
and
can,
now
you're pack out a club.
Yeah, and you're trying to maneuver around. Well, I'm really fine tuning this thing, and they're like, it's like a YouTube. It's like I wonder if plumbers go through this because they have YouTube plumbers, and they get all the bookings.
How to?
And you had this motherfucker who he is so busy doing plumber shit that he doesn't have time to make YouTube videos, and he's like, yo. I can really do a good job. Nah, fuck you. This guy's got 8 million followers.
This dude tells me how to do half the shit. It was like, but he looked it up on Wikipedia.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like word. It's like I wonder if any other industry goes through what we go through.
I do that with my car.
Huh? What? You go to the?
Yeah, because
I just look it up.
Mr. Fixing it on your car.
I mean, you save so much money.
This is old white dude on YouTube that he does videos and he tells you,
about.
He talks like this and he has the hands and he's like a white Cosby. He's like when you watch him.
Yeah,
and if you check the oil.
Well, today we got Ibrahim Khalif.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm so used.
No. It's fine.
It's on us. We're fucking up his host. We always do.
But I'm also used to on my shit. Usually I just start. Yeah. And we just be talking.
That's how I start, and then I find a part to be like, all right,
this is what the fuck we supposed to talk about.
No, because the first 3 episodes I did not introduce
nobody.
I think the first episode it wasn't until the end. It was until the end of the episode. I was wait, we don't even know who the fuck we had on it.
I did not introduce not a soul at all until then. I'm gonna tag y'all in the shit, man. Just relax. Now we got Brooklyn. I said Brooklyn. We got Newark's finest.
Brick City.
Brick City all day. Ibrahim Khalif.
Red Man.
Yeah. So
Prince Street Projects.
How you? Okay. I have no idea what these places are.
And he's from Newark.
I'm from Newark.
This guy.
That's why I rarely speak up.
He don't know with none of that shit.
That's why I rarely speak up about that shit.
At least say Red Man, nigga. At least front.
No.
Lauren Hill.
It's fine.
Something.
I forget she's from fucking Jersey.
Yeah, she
Whitney
is.
Houston, Dionne
Whitney
Warwick.
Houston, yep. I remember growing up back in the day, nobody wanted to claim that shit. Nobody wanted to claim Newark. Like, it's sexy to see Newark on the news and on TV and shit now. But I remember it was so bad being from Newark that we didn't even know what the weather was like because they didn't put our shit up.
Wow.
You see, now you look at Newark, it's 85. Nigga, no, we had to use New York City's weather.
Really?
It's 76 there. Nigga, I guess it's 76 here.
But Newark is a major city.
Huh?
It's a major city.
But they didn't give Newark nothing. If you didn't know what the fuck was going on in Newark.
I went through that shit when I was in Carolina because the town was so small that we just relied on Virginia's news.
Yeah, but like you said, nigga, we're a major American city. You didn't see Newark on TV at all.
That's bad.
Even and that's why we hate New Jersey Drive so much.
Really?
Yeah, hate it. Like anybody who grew up in that era, you hate New Jersey Drive.
That was a carjacking movie.
Yeah, because the moment you hear Avon Street, you out. I checked the fuck out of that movie. I'm like, fuck this movie. They didn't even film it in Newark. They filmed it in Jersey City. Like,
oh, shit.
Parts of it was filmed in Jersey City or somewhere else. But, like, Sharp James didn't even want them to film the movie there. And it was the stolen car capital of the fucking country. Of the world, actually, I think, at one time. But I know the country.
What year was this? The 90s?
This was in the 90s. This was in the mid-90s to the early 2000s.
Niggas was jacking cars.
And making cops look dumb as fuck.
Damn.
Yo, if NASCAR really wanted to diversify back then, my nigga, they could have came to Newark and got them drivers.
There was hood smart shit.
Word up, bro. Hood NASCAR, hood Indy.
They just stripped the car
you
down.
You had Al Unza nigga in. Like my grandmother called my grandfather one day. She called him asshole Andretti. He came to pick me up and he's revving his truck. She's like, check out asshole Andretti over here.
When I used to like go to sleep, like, I was trying to like fall asleep late nights, and when I was still in Newark, I would always hear a car speeding off somewhere in the distance all the time.
Yeah,
all the time speeding off.
Like you learn to get the will being from Newark, man. Newark is a different animal altogether because we're like right in the middle. It's like we're at the blind spot of the Northeast. Like
people know about Jersey, but
it's country. It has a country feel with a New York attitude and swag. You know what I mean? And then Jersey City is like our little cousin that they want to be us, but they're just not.
I got you.
You know what I mean? They take the thug. Oh, you're from Newark. It's not the same.
Because they're still kind of like. Is it?
It's still kind of New York. They're so close to New York. It's.
I haven't. It's been recent that I just clicked with people from Jersey immediately. This is when I was still in North Carolina, and as soon as I found out somebody was from Jersey, I just started arguing with them.
That's what happened with me and him when we first met.
First, I'm in this nigga car, and somebody bring up something about Maxwell. I was like, he all right, and then
I almost pulled the fucking car over and threw him out. I said, what the fuck you mean? Maxwell's just okay. No, you was like, he's overrated.
He said, did I really say that?
Yes.
Oh.
And I was like, what? And I was driving, and you know how like you piss somebody off, you get that hump in your back when somebody piss you off while you driving? I was like, what
I just met him.
And he just met me.
And I'm already just talking.
Then he's like, you know how Rod is, like he's got the hoodie on, he's all stoic.
Yeah. That's winter to Rod.
Yeah. Like he's
got the shoulders out
now. His shoulders. Now he's footloose and fancy free.
Yeah. Somebody told me the other day, they was like, I don't think I ever seen you in just a t-shirt.
It's funny because you went to California. He took a trip to California with some comics, and he's like, man, it's nice, man. It's like, it's hoodie weather. And I'm like, what temperature? It's like, I don't know, it's like mid-70s. I'm like, nigga, he wearing a hoodie in like 70s, 80s weather because
it had a breeze the whole time. There was no fucking humidity.
But you know what? He was down in North Carolina, and that humidity is a bitch. That when we were down there,
I was chilling.
It was
that humidity was as thick as they white women. And they white women.
My aunt had to fight me here to turn like my fan and AC on. I was like, I'm good right now. It's not even that hot. Like I'm just chilling in my room. It was like, if you don't turn this damn fan on.
North Carolina, that shit's oppressive. Like,
that
fucking heat is oppressive. It really is. It's fucked.
It's pretty. It's pretty bad.
It's a weight.
And you're from there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
it's hot.
It's hot.
So y'all got that fan on for me. Yeah.
Even
man, for y'all.
Yeah. Nah, man, we would have did this upstairs if I hadn't already set up everything. When I was just like, it's too late now. Yeah. It's too late. We'll make this quick.
I think we're making it a running bit now that we just change locations we've done this in like 5 spots, but it's cool. It's
I seen y'all had that one time. It was like that shit that folds out that your
grandmother
gets.
That
your grandmother gets dressed behind and shit.
The room divider. Yeah.
The partition.
I got that from a strip club that was liquidating.
So there's cum stains on it.
That explains the holes in it.
There's one little break in it that's like, it's usually off camera. You don't see it, but I'm like, somebody punched somebody.
It was. I was about to buy 2 of them for like $100 on Amazon, and then I was like, well, let me just check fucking Craigslist. I'm in New York. Let me check Craigslist. And then with like 3 listings for specifically HOG. One of them was like way out there, East New York, and the other one was like in Midtown for like $20. So
damn.
Yeah.
You came off.
Yeah. It was
more ways than one, my nigga.
Fit in my car and everything. I was like, all right, cool.
It's a good aesthetic. It's good because we even though like we touch on like we can get either into like nerd culture, anime shit, but we like to talk about anything like for some reason we like Asian culture.
Mm-hmm. Vice versa.
And if we feel like we've kind of touched each other in some way, like Asian culture's kind of taken our influences.
That sounds really provocative, but touched each other and
pause. Yeah. Well, culture-wise, we've like we've taken some hints from Asian culture, and they've taken some from us, but like breakdance, shit like that.
They hip hop is pure as fuck.
Yeah.
Anytime I see Asian, like the type of hip hop Asian people are into, no matter where they are, where
Straight
they're from,
B-boy shit.
it's b-boy, boom bap, like that, like classic hip hop. They really ain't into the new shit.
They took it and ran with
so
it.
much.
Yeah.
And anywhere you go in the world, they like. That's why artists like the Roots, artists like Pharoah Monch, artists
Redman
that really
he stays over in Europe. And shit, yeah.
they because they fuck with the boom bap. They don't get with this mumble rap shit.
Them
too
in
tough.
Europe, them in like for some reason like Europe and just most of the country they
Australia.
They still
90s.
They still spin records.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They stay pure. Yeah. So, I just wish we as black folks, I wish we remain purists to a degree because we kind of take the American attitude to a lot of things. I think we've adopted that from our fucking, being the tribe of Shabazz in the wilderness that is North America. we adapt. We
He had to let that out.
I had to let that out. Yo, but we adapt the white man's way he work. He do shit.
Yeah,
like it's always nothing. Think about it in America. Nothing's
constant.
We thought that's how we had to
tearing
do
shit
it.
down
Some
and putting
conquest,
something up new.
something's got to be something.
Yeah.
There's new heights to be reached,
Yeah.
and it's admirable because like we like it, like the idea of like America, like we keep trying, we keep pushing, but at some point
we
it's
get
like
rid of a lot of our
some
old
things are right,
classic
and
shit.
we shouldn't
Yeah,
change
we should.
certain.
Yeah,
parts.
exactly.
Like,
And I think we as black folks, we don't hold on to enough of our core cultural, things that affect us culturally.
Yeah, respect what
and
came before us.
right, and
then
just
keep
build
that.
from that. It's almost like, all right, this is what's new, and fuck all them old niggas. It's like, nah, you wouldn't have that without this. And I think we really did adopt that from American culture. Because look, think about how many old buildings that get torn down that should still be standing. Where if you go into fucking Italy, that place is sinking.
Yeah.
Some parts of Italy is sinking underwater, but
'Cause
they
it was
will
like,
not tear a building
it
down
was like, nah,
because it's their
everything's still
culture,
fine.
it's their history. You know what I mean?
Thousands of years. I think it's because this country's so new. Like we don't stop to think it's only like 300 some years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like we're in this constant state of like, all right, we did this, and now we're at a new level. Let's tear this down and let's recycle. But yeah, you're right. If it's like 2,000 years old, like let's keep this cathedral or whatever the hell.
Right.
It is.
And it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, nah, we're going to turn this into a co-op.
Yeah.
In charge above market rent. It's like, motherfucker. I heard there's a house like in Brooklyn that has connections to the Underground Railroad. They about to tear
Really?
that shit down. Yeah, I think Eva was posted it. Yeah, it's like,
And,
why the fuck wouldn't you keep that?
In like Wilmington, actually, there was like some sort of sewage system that they like cemented up. Apparently, there was.
I bet
some,
they
like,
fucking did in
There was
Wilmington,
like
Well,
a
that's
slave
understandable.
escape shit. But
Yeah.
well, and that's another thing. Where it's just like almost like they were trying to like churn over the bad shit that they did.
Yeah. Well, no, what they're doing is they bringing slavery back, and they don't want us
blocking
using those
off
same
all the
escape
exits.
routes. They're like, let's cement this
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, they
don't want them
told us
using this.
they told us how
Burn
they
the
got around
maps.
before. Let's block them up.
That's what they doing.
Oh my
I
god.
don't know. I'm a conspiracy theorist, y'all. Whoever's watching.
Oh, hell yeah, no,
They trying to. I
into
think
that shit.
low key. I think they were trying to G off with the Mexicans for that. The people hopping the border. I think that might have been what they did because for me it still doesn't make any sense.
In North
as far-
Carolina, though?
I mean, it starts at the border and then they just start shipping people all over and then it's like free labor. So
yeah.
My thing is this. Like,
we had a healthy like Hispanic population.
Yeah.
They were
Always.
hiding out.
Nah,
They were
always
like
in the
Raleigh.
South.
Because I
They-
mean,
yeah.
hell, when you went to Raleigh for the festival, like it's very cultural. Like there, for surprisingly, you wouldn't think it being like this little landlocked, North Carolina town. But yeah, we had like a lot of Hispanic communities just kind of like find their way in North Carolina and just hide out for a little bit. Like
Yeah, they
just,
chilling.
chill. They just chill out.
Yeah, I work with this woman from Mexico. Her name was Cleodale. She was like 4 foot something. I don't know. She was mad chill. Just because I just worked and just shut the fuck up. Mad chill. She'd be showing me shit on Facebook or whatever.
You could tell when a dude like is like digging a chick because he'd be like, I know her height a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you've been checking out. I was like, she about 5 foot.
He didn't
She about-
size her up
He
already.
sized her up and
Sized
shit.
She about 5 foot.
She was chill. She was chill.
Nah, cause like just trying to paint the picture like just straight from Mexico.
Yeah.
Just
She's an
hard.
unadulterated Mexican.
Yeah,
Pure.
Pure.
pure. Like the way she would talk, she'd be like,
Prehistoric Aztec. it's like
goddamn.
She came with the little ankle little ankle bracelets on and shit.
you're fucked up.
Shackles.
You're fucked up.
Goddamn. Nah, she was chill. She didn't fuck with too many other people.
Yeah.
And stuff. She was showing me stuff. She's like, yeah.
She was like, she's like, this nigga's on thin ice too, so we can relate. I'm one ice visit. He's one traffic stop away.
For real.
Both of us is
Dead ass too. Yeah. Oh, man. That's funny. That's funny.
I got your back.
Yeah. Not really. She just know that if they after him, she's good.
Yeah.
She just gotta be quiet. That's it.
Yeah.
Just shut the fuck up.
That's interesting though, like conspiracy theories, and it's funny because I feel like a lot of black people don't. Like, we have our little conspiracies or superstitions, but we're not really out about it. Like, we keep
it's
it
hard for
amongst
niggas to believe just one thing about it. There's always going to be someone that's like, man, that shit ain't real.
I think it's like it just shows that, like, we like to turn the stone over a little bit. We like, we don't accept stuff for, like, just how it is. Like, we always have to think for, like, a second. Like, maybe there's another side to this, or, like, they're keeping something from us. You know, that sort of thing?
But I think that that was a very popular thing when I was growing up. Because, I mean, it was like, my generation, you know, I mean, I don't want to sound old, but I'm old. I'm getting old. So I mean, in with social media and stuff, the generational
You're
divide,
Gen X, right?
Huh?
You're Gen X?
I guess I'm 36. I don't know.
Yeah,
What is
you're
that? That's Gen X. So
X, yeah.
my generation is I'm the first generation of the Black Power movement. So a lot of what I went through growing up was they were filling our heads with what came before, which was we knew the Negro National Anthem. We had to learn about Malcolm X. I read the autobiography of Malcolm X when I was 9, read it again when I was 12.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Watched the movie when it came out, on bootleg and at the movie theater. Like, you had, then that was the major peak of black creatives like John Singleton. Everything that this younger generation is nostalgic about, we grew up in. So it's like, I remember John Singleton dropping at the Hughes Brothers, Spike Lee when he was at his peak. I was a child when Do the Right Thing came out and all of that. You know, Mo Better Blues. I watched all those movies because it wasn't so much and also back then you had it where whatever your family watched, you watched. Yeah. And then you watched things as a family. So I watched comedy with my parents, with my grandparents, my uncles, my mother, all of them. Yeah. I watched these various movies and stuff like that. So even if I didn't understand something, my parents could shape my perception with some context. So if I hear something, I go, yo, that was funny or that's interesting. What's that about? If my mother didn't know it, she'd tell me go read about it and go look it up. And it forced me to go and research what I was watching. Or if a joke happened in a comedy special, I would go, all right, that sounds funny to me. I would laugh. But then I would ask my mom, what did he mean by that? And then my mother would explain it to me. So that's the big difference between what we have then and what we have now.
Where it's just like you can watch this by yourself, make your own opinion.
Make your own presumptions. And then now you also have a platform for you to tweet to the world that this is what I think and this guy is toxic and blah, 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 blah.
Problem.
Yeah. And it's like,
and if you got 1 million followers already,
and now you have a lynch mob. And now there's outrage culture. And it's really, you're not equipped to handle, like we had this situation like recently, the comedy community with the Dina Hashem thing.
Yeah. Which how do you feel? I think we talked about it briefly.
Great fucking joke.
Funny as shit. Like,
great fucking joke. Yeah. Because, and the thing is that what people only saw who are not nuanced in comedy is the fact that she mentioned Triple X. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Triple X.
XXX.
Yeah, it's part of the joke too. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but she pronounced it right, apparently.
The fact that she says it, and then it's like, of course they don't know who the fuck he is.
Yeah. Because of the demographic she was in. And I told somebody, I said, she said that, is anyone still mourning? Because most of the room was white. And people older people, that, so they don't know. Yeah. So they laugh. And then when she said, she gave the circumstances behind his death, and she said it was tragic. Yeah. But she said it's tragic, but also would be a good Venmo commercial. It's funny because it's like, it's plain. First of all, it's her style. She's deadpan or whatever. Mm-hmm. But what everyone's outraged behind it made me see that there's a lot of people who don't understand humor. She didn't say that what happened to him was the joke. Yeah. Like, she didn't say he should have had Venmo. She said the circumstances made her think, damn, I should get Venmo. Yeah. Right. Which shows is that a corporation would exploit his situation to promote their product because Venmo promotes what? Security, safety, without safe transactions, without having to go to an ATM or to a bank, so that nothing like that happens to you. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they would exploit his situation for their gain. That's what she was saying in the joke, but you can't say all that in the joke.
Yeah.
So you say it
And
the
she
way
said,
she said it.
And she said, she's like, that was my first thought. And she made it personal. It was just like,
Yeah.
oh, this was something dumb that I did. And that's part of humor is like calling yourself out for the dumb shit you
That you
think.
think about,
And
right.
you tell this to people and they feel easier because like, oh, I think dumb shit too. It's like, yeah,
Right.
that's weird that I said that. And it's like,
Exactly.
and yeah, I don't know. I just think that as soon as people heard her say XXX, that they could immediately tweet about it.
All them 12 to 18-year-olds just lost their mind.
Yeah, they could admit because that's their Tupac for some reason.
Right.
And I mean, like I guess that's where I'm starting to feel like an old nigga because I'm like I get it. Like I understand it, but at the same time, I'm like
It's not even really
Yeah,
old.
it's-
It's just that
yeah.
it's just stuff is so quick now. It's
Yeah.
so much and
There
generational stuff.
There is
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
build up to a person reaching that type of status. Like you got people like it was this chick I used to follow, Yes Jules, white chick,
Yeah, I
fat
unfollow
ass.
her too. Yeah.
Who? That's all I knew her for. She was
That's
a white
it.
girl with fat
That's
ass,
it.
and it's all of a sudden I saw that she was like this hip hop mogul, and I'm
Yeah.
like, how?
She was a party.
And
She was like a party promoter in
Party
like
boy,
Miami.
and then
Yeah.
it's like she promotes these SoundCloud artists who
Yeah.
has followings through SoundCloud,
Yeah.
and it's like
She already
all
had, like, a
they're
crazy
the great-
following, too,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're this great thing and all. Then I go listen to their music, it's trash, and I'm like, but they have a following because they have an outlet to get
they
their
have
shit
someone
out.
to amplify 'em,
Right.
basically. Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and it's really all hype.
Yeah.
Because you haven't gone through to pay your dues for you to like get scratched up and scarred in order for you to shine.
To really
it hasn't
even-
had
So
to
you-
really bring out your talent.
To you
And
to
so it's kind of
consider
like
if
what
you're
you're
gonna still
saying is
do
like,
it.
and essentially it's like the fact that you can make money off of it, because there's money being channeled through
Oh, yeah,
all
yeah,
this.
yeah.
So the fact that you can make money off of it overshadows the fact that's like this is still art, and art takes time,
Right.
whereas you can make money now, so you can just
and fuck the art.
fuck the art. Yeah,
And we have to be honest with ourselves. Is that when I was growing up, that was kind of problem with hip hop, was that hip hop had blown up so fast and got commercialized so much in the late 90s, early 2000s, when I was like a junior, senior in high school, is that you started seeing artists get put on and blow up because they had a market that was untapped, but they weren't that great of rappers. Like you had the South, you had the niggas from
Had a
New Orleans,
whole
you had
team.
them, you had that whole Ja Rule and all of them.
Yeah.
The reason they blew up so well is because they were the first representatives of where they were from.
Yeah.
So Def Jam and them was gonna give them
Yeah.
but look,
the same happened with the West Coast too, though.
West Coast,
like in the
same
80s,
shit.
technically,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I know there was a lot of copycats of like
Yeah,
NWA.
But
and
look
stuff
how,
like that.
but then look at, and a lot of those guys came up. They was big for a while, and then they flamed out. But then look at artists like Outkast, who's from the South, who they just focused on the art, and they've been around forever. It's the same thing with the Roots. The Roots have been around since 1992.
Forever.
Black Thought is just now in the last 3 years getting the respect that we all believe he should have got. When I was listening to him, when I was in high school, like, yo, this nigga Thought is a problem. Oh, it's the band. They all thought of the Roots. They thought of the band. They never thought of, this guy's a lyrical genius.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He had the feature on other niggas' shit, outshine them on their own shit for people to go, yo, Black Thought tonight. But
Yeah.
it took him to be on Jimmy Fallon and to do a Funk Flex freestyle.
Did he do a couple
For
Dave
people-
Chappelle appearances too?
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle. Yeah,
Did
but
Dave
even
Chappelle.
then, Dave Chappelle shit was still kind of underground. Because remember, Dave Chappelle shit ain't popped till the DVDs came out.
That's true.
wild.
Till he got all the sales from Chappelle's
Nigga,
show.
nah, we
like
was
all
we
the-
was
all
talking
the-
about that
we
shit.
liked
We
it.
were
We
because
liked
we
it.
were
It's cool,
no, but
yeah.
we were
Yeah.
under. But still, it's cool. It's a subculture. Dave's show, if you watched it live when it came on, not live, but if
On
you saw
TV.
if you watched it on TV, it was a subculture. Dave's shit ain't really blow up until the DVDs came out.
That's wild.
Them DVDs were everywhere.
Yeah.
But before that, his show was, yo, you saw the Chappelle show? Because remember, the Chappelle show used to have mad commercials. It was, you would watch his sketch, and it was like 5 commercials in between the first commercial break and the next one. And each segment was like that.
Yeah.
So you really couldn't get a handle on the Chappelle show. You really couldn't appreciate it until it got on DVD and there was no commercials.
That was crazy how it was like almost like serials for a minute. It was
Yup.
like really small. I do remember that.
Man.
And that would used to piss me off because he used to do an opening monologue sometimes
Yup.
and then go to commercial.
Then it'd be 4 or 5 commercials. Then the first, then
That
he'll
nigga
come
was
back.
getting
And he's
paid.
sketch.
Piss me
And that was
off,
one of
yeah,
his
yeah.
reasons with Comedy Central's that they gave him no ad money.
So did he have to pad it with commercials? Is that what or they just
No,
didn't
they
get
never
money?
shared any of the ad revenue with him. That was one of his running jokes on the show in the first season.
Shit.
Is when he had the white girl singing all the shit
Yeah.
that he couldn't
Oh,
say. He had the white
yeah,
girl singing.
yeah.
He said, and now we go to break. He said for ad revenue that they do not share with my black ass.
Wow.
He got none of the ad revenue, even though he had so many commercials in between each segment.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like, you know, Dave was a subculture. You know, and then
Man.
now these guys are getting their roses. Fucking Black Thought, like I said, the Roots around since '92.
I showed the fucking Clayton Bigsby sketch to my grandmother, and she
Yeah.
was dying laughing. That's why I knew
Yeah.
that show was the greatest thing ever. It was like it was so like that generational gap, and she still found it funny.
Yeah,
So
because Dave is a student of society. He's a conspiracy theorist. He is. I mean, for you to think of some of this shit as a comic, and as a black man, you have to tap into that critical thinking muscle. You cannot take things for face value. You have to think beyond how they want you to react to some shit. You know what I mean? I'm always thinking about like some of the shit that happens in society. I always go, all right, this happens. They want me to react a particular way, but let me go beyond my feelings and see what actually could be behind.
That turning over the stone thing.
Yeah,
and I
exactly
think
what
that's
you
yeah,
just
yeah,
said.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I've gotten just I don't know. I've gotten tired of it.
Skeptic?
It's just not. It's to the point where I'm like, what was the Jesse
Smollett?
Smollett thing?
Oh, nigga, I knew
When,
that was.
when I first heard about it, I was like, well, damn, that sucks. And I thought it was just gonna be something that just blew over. And then that's when
I knew that was.
I
some
seen
bullshit.
your tweet when you screenshot it. You were just like, nigga, they had bleach in a thermos.
Yeah. I said,
Fucking-
I said.
And then-
said.
Because I didn't even, I didn't
didn't even
read,
think about that.
No, because I didn't read the article. I just saw the headline. I was like, damn, that sucks. And so I just kept scrolling past on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then I was wait, what happened?
They had a noose?
Yo,
Wait,
I
what?
Yeah, because I said, yo, they poured bleach on this motherfucker in the middle of the winter in
In
Chicago.
Chicago.
I said, did they pour that bleach on him out of a thermos? I was like, because that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, yo, nobody I know who's from Chicago is out at that hour
Yeah.
Once I
in the
started,
middle of a fucking
Snowstorm.
snowstorm.
yeah,
Yeah.
Once I started like seeing people their opinions, I was like, yeah, this makes absolutely no sense. This guy's out of his goddamn mind.
Yeah.
He really did. He say he was like gay Tupac too? Or
Yeah,
something?
the next night, like 2 nights later, I fought back.
That nigga crazy.
Yo, you are a sociopath,
He's
nigga.
crazy.
Like,
Yeah.
and they act like
crazy.
because he's a gay man that he can't be. Like, they're gay men who are assholes. Like,
Oh,
you can be an
absolute-
asshole. I hope this y'all
People
don't-
are assholes.
People are assholes in general.
Yeah.
Like, but people's like, oh, you have to believe him. Why do I have to believe him?
I don't.
I don't have to. Like, I am allowed to be a critical thinker, and sometimes it's like people get the mob together before they actually think for themselves. Like,
It's more on that.
Yeah.
It's more on that when like black people like nowadays they be on like, because you can see the
Just
clear
emotion
divide.
reaction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where it's just like, nah, we gotta stick up for them because they black. It's like, nah, this nigga's stupid.
yeah,
I can't. He can't represent us right now. Like even with the Dina shit, it was the black community that was just like, nah, that was some bullshit. What's the guy's name?
Oh, where? You talking about? Davis? What's his name?
James.
yeah.
Like he kind of spoke up about it, and
Yeah.
then immediately just
Everyone jumped. Yeah, because that's what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's popular now.
It's
Well,
just
yeah,
a
I just
jump
feel
out
like
there.
that was like cancel culture and all that stuff where it's just like, all right, let me, this will get, and I feel like it's like, are you really concerned or do you think this is going to get you views to your own
Yes,
profile? And it's
and
like,
I think-
and that's what people are thinking. They're thinking, oh, if I post this video of me, like this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's virtue,
people are going to
it's
share
virtue
your shit.
signaling. It's
Yeah.
you want to be perceived as a good person in the eyes of everyone else because that, as long as you can point out somebody else's fault, you gloss over you being a piece of shit. See,
Yeah.
See, if you're a piece of shit, or you know that, yo, listen, I have flaws, and you accept them, and that's what comedy is that we go on stage and we expose our flaws to these people. But people are people so want to be seen as good people or on the right side of history that now you go on stage and you say some shit that's true about yourself and about what's going on around you. Now I'm offended. And I'm offended, and I'm not really offended for what you said. I'm offended because I can be. And I'm going to make your life a living hell because I've been offended.
Have you had somebody speak up during your set?
Yeah.
Where like not even just say offended, they was just like, I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yo, the other day.
It's hilarious, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I'm like, this is so fucking weird right now. Why are you talking?
And this is the funniest thing to me is like comedy is the only medium where people feel like they have the least to say that. Like comedy is the only one where someone could, a woman or guy could sit in the audience and go, you could tell a rape joke and they go, I don't want to hear that rape jokes aren't funny.
Oh, well,
It's like, but you would never go to a poetry slam and tell a poet, I don't want to hear rape poetry.
Yeah.
And there's millions of rape poems. You don't understand? You would
Really?
never heckle.
Yeah.
You ever go to a poetry? It's always about sexual assault or some type of abuse that happened either to them or that they witnessed.
Yeah.
Oh, so all these
But-
people, a lot of people need to start doing poems instead of comedy because that's the place to vent.
That's pretty much what they be
That's
doing
That's
when
the
you go to
place-
New York.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the place to vent.
yeah, it's, hi,
No,
I'm
it's-
such and such.
I
And then,
know exactly what
oh,
you're
great.
talking
And they
I have
clapping.
anxiety.
Oh
Yeah.
no! This is the craziest shit I saw at a show. He says, who suffers from? He said, who in here suffers from anxiety or
Why
is it introvert? And everybody was like, yay! I'm like, do you really have anxiety, motherfucker?
don't.
Like,
Yeah.
They don't. It's
That's
a-
another thing how we flipped it. How being depressed is cool. Like
Yeah.
all these every time all my feed it's just I'm so depressed, ha ha ha, and I'm like
this shit
that's
ain't
not
fun.
good.
This
Like,
shit is not fun. It's not
get,
fun.
Go get help, because I'm depressed, and
Yeah.
I actually
Dude.
avidly seek like help. I don't post. This is funny that I'm laying in bed eating pizza all day.
So
I
depressed.
used to do that for
Yeah.
5 years of my life, and I'm like, nah, I ain't doing that shit.
and
no
but you
more.
didn't post it.
I didn't
You
post it. I just
you just did it.
I
yeah.
just got fat as fuck.
Nigga, I'm
you know?
suffering in silence. I'm suffering. Yeah,
Like,
it-
It's,
go ahead.
No, but it's just weird to me how like that's the thing. It's like either being angry about shit or being depressed is cool. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, it's not.
Dude,
Like,
I've been going through,
weird.
and I'm not saying, I'm just saying because we're talking about it. I've been going through a depression for like 3 years. And the way I look at depression, and I joke about it a little bit, I said the way, because of my age, I've gone through a lot of traumatic shit growing up and in my life that, and as black people, we've been, to me, I think you should have a like tougher skin still, because you grow up with the thing, it's like, yo, nobody gives a fuck, especially a black man, nobody gives a fuck how you feel or what you think. So it's like, I always look at depression and anxiety is like, or whatever they want to classify it now as mental health or whatever. I think you got to go through some fucking years. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta-
So then I look at that shit as once you start tapping into, I'm depressed, is like a pension fund. It's like, like nigga, I tapped into my shit. I went through 33 years of some shit, and then I tapped in and went, yo, you know what? A nigga might be depressed.
Yeah.
Because I went through 33 years of trauma and subduing some stuff to go, you know what? I think I'm going to go talk to somebody, or I think I need to handle this.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I had like in a 3-year span, bruh, had medical situation. My mom's passed away. All types of shit start happening. So it was just like that on top of everything that I had been through. I was like, you know what? Let me go file for retirement on this pension fund, and I'm gonna tap into this. I'm gonna tap into this anxiety
I need a
pension
break.
fund.
I need
and
a break.
I started, going through what they call now self-care. It's like this thing that it sounds fucking.
Isn't it corny to have a label for everything?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I
For
feel
every
soft
little
as shit.
thing. For
Yeah.
every little
So
thing.
like it feels soft as shit, but it's like that's what you kind of got to do. But like you got like these young motherfuckers who ain't went through shit. You
just
10
bored.
years,
You
like
just
you
bored
15
as
years
hell.
old talking about you
Nothing,
just
yeah.
bored. That's all it is.
And it's weird because it's like, oh, you went through your first heartbreak at 19 and now your life's over. It's like, we're going to live forever at this point. Medical science has gotten crazy. So you're going to be 100 and this is what you're going to care about, like right now?
Right now, you got a lot more to go through.
you posting about it ain't helping anything.
I think
it's not like-
I think some of it comes from, like you were telling me before, that it's like everything's built. Like we kind of don't need anything new. We don't need any more iPhones.
Yeah.
We got good buildings. There's pretty land in the middle of America if you want to build some new shit. But like everything's pretty much done. Everybody's nostalgic about everything. They just keep going back with media. They just keep taking from
That's my
what came
theory,
before
yeah,
us, and like it's.
my I guess my not conspiracy.
I
theory,
think
but just
that's
my
why
thing.
everybody's depressed.
Everybody's depressed because it's like, well, yeah, because like we kind of did everything right.
We
now.
peaked.
Like we've peaked. Like either they're holding the technology that we need to go to the next level, or it's just we hit it right now. Like
Right.
this is like we're able to order anything.
and they don't know how to break it to the public.
It's like,
they don't know how to break.
Nah,
like,
they
yo,
don't.
Guys,
this is it.
This is it. Hey, you can order like any food from anywhere
Yeah.
and have it given to you. Like that's nuts. And then you can have it. You can speak to a box with a lady's name, and she can do whatever you want for her. Like
it's a whole thing of convenience, and the fact what builds character is the fact that you have to go through tough times in order to bring out the best you.
Yeah.
And like you said, a lot of new age people don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, the way you are able to build a character and be careful about what you say and be responsible about how you think about certain things in the world, like we talking about critical thinking or turning over the stone, is the fact that if I had an idea about something or I perceive something a particular way, you had your parents there to kind of be the checks and balance between why you think a particular way. You get what I'm saying? So if I'm a sick 15-year-old me and I see what's going on in the world and I go, well, I think that's blah, 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 blah. I had my grandfather, my grandmother, my mom's in there to shape my perception and, like I said, give me some context so then I can have a more complete thought and opinion about something. Now you don't have that. I can get on my cell phone and just go, this motherfucker is blah, 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 blah. And now all of a sudden I'm this pundit. With all this insight and really I don't know shit.
All these likes.
And the moment you tell somebody they don't know shit, now you're a hater. Yeah. You're toxic. You're all of this shit. And it's like, what are you talking about? So even with you formulating your own opinion and mind and character, it had to go through some checks and balances and some stops and some rough things, a rough way to go. Right. Yeah. Even when people talk about bullying. Look, man, bullying builds character.
It does.
It's your first adversary.
And there is just an undeniable fact that there are just shitty people in the world. That's just going to happen.
And they're not going to disappear.
And they're never going to go away. You think you're going to reprogram people. Because, I mean, like, we've all either experienced bullies or whatever it is. But it's like, there are just shit dudes. There are shit ladies. There are people who are just like, I'm going to be mean because there's either something wrong with me or I got something I'm dealing with, whatever it is. And it's like, that's fine. I get it. Like, you maneuver through it. I was talking
to my wife about this, and I said, you know how they're making all these things about where it's almost like a regular straight arrow guy has to, like, walk over these eggshells as to what's sexual assault, what's not appropriate, what's not, what's this and this. And I told my wife, I said, you know who don't give a fuck about none of that shit? Rapists. A rapist is just a rapist. Yeah. They don't give a fuck about your social landmines that you set up all around these obstacles and you can't. A rapist. Like, there are people who are just rapists.
He cartwheeling through that.
Yeah. There are people who are just thieves.
Yeah.
There are people who are just pieces of shit and they exist. And as much rules as you put up, rules of engagement that you put up and create in these safe spaces, there are people in this world who don't give a fuck about any of that.
At what point do you think that it came from? Because it used to be just like you knew this stuff to look out for that person or to, like, quarantine that person. But now it's like we're quarantining normal people. Yeah. Where it's just like now everybody thinks that they're going to be the bad guy. But it's like, no, you're not a bad person. Like, you're not. You're not a bad person. Because those people clearly are because they do the fucked up stuff. Like, right. You can tell
because
that they act on their
you know why? Because they're shifting the responsibility from themselves and putting it on other people for their own safety. That's why. Because you're not saying to yourself, the reality hasn't been put to people that there are pieces of shit out here who could harm me. What they want to do is guilt the pieces of shit that's out there into being, oh, you shouldn't be. No, but they are. Mm-hmm. And because you're shifting that blame to them, you're trying to absolve yourself of the responsibility of you looking out for your own self. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like or as they call it, victim blaming. Mm. Because if I get fucked up out here, if I walk out with my wallet in my hand and someone fucks me up, it's not my fault I walked out with my wallet in my hand. It's their fault for wanting my wallet. Yeah. Instead of us looking at it like, no, there's just thieves out here. Yeah. And you need to look out for of course they're pieces of shit, but you also an irresponsible idiot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that's where it comes from, where this whole thing, like he said, labeling everything. It's a victim blame, blah, blah, blah. It's like, nah. Yeah. You're irresponsible.
I have a thing about that where it's like, where they talk, like they talk about like fat shaming and stuff like that. Yeah. And I was just like, I wish somebody he's like, you should do this. But it's like, nigga, I wish someone told me. Like,
that you was fat?
Yeah, nigga, tell me. Don't be nice.
Yes.
No, he's like,
because that's real love.
Yeah. I was just like, they're like, because what I did was I told him that I talked to some of my childhood friends.
How could you be comfortable with yourself if you can't breathe?
Yeah, exactly. They was just like, I confronted some of my friends. Like, I was like dealing with depression. I literally talked to some of my childhood friends. I was like, hey, why didn't you like tell me that I was like, yo, why didn't you take me outside, nigga? Like, we played Xbox for like 3 hours. Like, why didn't you go outside? And it was like, oh no, like, like I thought you were just feeling yourself. Like, nigga, I was eating myself. Like, like I was suffocating myself, and y'all ain't do shit.
You over here.
Like,
Cordero's okay with himself. Like, no, nigga, I can't breathe.
No,
like,
if anything, it was the dudes like sticking in my head. The dudes who was messing with me that made me think like, oh, maybe I should do something about it. So it's like people.
So the bullies cared more about you than your friends.
Yeah. Cordero, where your fat ass going?
Hey, man. Look, and do you see them when you get older and they like, yo, man, I'm glad you did something about yourself.
And that's the fucking thing. A lot of those dudes are like, oh, yeah, man, like, I see you. Like, you out here doing stuff, man. I appreciate what you're doing. I was like, thanks, dude. Like, my friends ain't even fucking them niggas ain't talking to me no more.
Yo,
oh, Cordero done changed. Like, nigga, I got better. Like,
yeah.
the fuck you mean?
No thanks to you. That's like one of the most influential people I had in my life that helped me get my shit together as a kid was a drug dealer. Dude, hit me up. I had a bad report card. Hit me up outside the projects. Was like, yo, your mother told me you fucking up in school.
God damn.
And he like, get your shit. Yo, he said, get your shit together. I'm gonna have you out here slinging, shit for me. Yeah. And he said, you don't want to be out here. You scared to be out here? I was like, I ain't scared. He said, but do you want him? I said, I don't want to be out here. He was like, all right, then get your shit right. Well, I'm gonna have you out here. And that was it. And then I saw that dude later in the supermarket, like shit, about 6 years ago. And I thanked him. I was like, yo, thanks a lot for that. Every time I seen him, I would thank him. You know what I mean? He was like a responsible drug dealer too. Like he's a drug dealer who had a job.
And then oxymoron.
Bro, he was responsible. Nigga, as the older I get, I have a greater appreciation for drug dealers, bro. Yeah. Like I understand because of what was going on and shit like that. I understand what they had to do because I mean you had a society that was completely against you, stripped you of every fucking type of means that you could provide for you and yourself, and you're just trying to hold on to your manhood. You know what I mean? Because as men, that's what we do. You're not a real man if you can't provide for somebody. You know what I mean? That's one of the prerequisites of manhood. It's like you want to provide for somebody else and protect other people. That's your shit.
That's like that's just DNA shit.
Yeah, and if you don't do that, you're not complete. You're just a male walking around until you become a husband and father. My nigga, until you do that, you're just a male walking around. That's it. Until you start establishing, like, yo, I want to have kids and blah, blah, blah. Then you got motherfuckers looking at you like, all right, the lights is getting dim, nigga. What you going to do?
Right.
Man. Yo, that fridge looking a little kind of naked.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I have a greater appreciation for them niggas. Like, even the dudes my mother used to fuck with. It's like, I used to look at them like ain't shit niggas, but I'm like, but now I look at it like, damn, they really had nowhere to go to get work. Yeah. Nobody was hiring them. You know what I mean? Like back then. Like people don't want to look at that shit.
Of course you turn to
what's there.
Yeah. Something illegal or entertainment or whatever.
Yeah, and then the fucking government was putting the shit in it was like So it's like, yo, all right, I give these niggas a pass, man. I give them a pass like, you know what? I was bitter and shit like, oh, I'm gonna be better and nah, these motherfuckers knew, They knew about the ball. I'm sorry to turn the podcast into this shit, but this is where it went. We're supposed to be talking about wrestling or some shit.
The thing is that we needed this. We needed this old nigga energy to like.
I'm just glad he ain't wear his.
Not old grown nigga energy. Sorry.
I'm glad he ain't wear his black educated Muslim
shirt. I
was like, ah, shit. Here we go.
I'd have been telegraphing this shit. People would have turned this shit off. As soon as they saw that shit, it was like, yo, I ain't watching this episode.
I mean, well, the whole thing about this is about like culture, and obviously we talk about like either nerd shit if it comes up or whatever it is, but we just kind of talk about growing up as we did, and then how we kind of adapted, whatever. Like for us, we did have like a lot of us, we were on that sort of like in between where there's the kids who grew up on YouTube, but we grew up just watching TV. Because like our mothers worked, or like we were just out, or the people we just we had keys to the house. We went home at 4 o'clock. At grandma's house, we sit and we supposed to be doing homework, but we watch TV. So that's why we talk about that stuff. But like it is interesting to know that like you had live versions of the PBS people. It's like instead of PBS, no, we had like the nigga on the street who was like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, like, and then that was reinforced by niggas like Famous Amos and shit, and motherfuckers teaching you how to read, and Bill Cosby, and you know what I mean?
He stole a cookie recipe. Like he says it.
Famous Amos stole that cookie recipe?
He said he just looked on the back of some shit in a supermarket, and he just went home and made it.
That's some nigga shit, right?
I promise you.
And he made it better, probably.
It was some like entrepreneur class I took in middle school, and they showed like a video, a bunch.
Wait, did some white people show you this video? Because it sounds like some white people shit. Like,
he
stole the cookie recipe.
It's like they didn't even set it up, but it's like he just came on. He was just like, I just I just looked on the
Oh,
back.
you looked
of the
at
packet.
probably looked at ingredients. I mean, that's what
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
does.
No,
though.
He
Ingredients.
just looked at the ingredients, but essentially,
did it his own way, probably.
He probably
Yeah.
just looked at Chips Ahoy. It was just like, just make the cookie smaller.
Yeah, I put my face on it. Boom.
Is his
Yo.
face on it?
I think his face
He
is on it.
was.
Yeah, it was on
Oh,
it.
okay.
He was on it. Yeah, at one
Gotcha.
time. Yeah, but
Which is why
I
they
think he
tried-
sold the company, and he's from Nutley, New Jersey.
Ah.
My pops used to deliver his mail.
Damn.
Wow.
Deliver his mail in Nutley.
Jersey done dropped some bombshells out here. Huh?
Yup.
No,
They
it's
freaking-
plenty. It's
yeah.
Plenty of shit. They
Yeah.
would, but like we said earlier, they would never claim.
Nobody really give Jersey.
They would
love
say
like
New York.
And it was say, over the last
Shaq,
couple years,
Shaq just now start claiming.
really,
Not just now, but
I
like
didn't
over
know
the
Shaq
last
was-
10 years, Shaq has been like, I'm Newark. But before then,
that's nuts.
it was like San Antonio, Texas. Look on the back of his basketball card. It used to be San Antonio, Texas.
that. Really?
Back then, yeah. And they
Wow.
may say Newark now, but back then it didn't.
Damn. I have noticed it because moving out here, I noticed that there's small residual like, oh, there's this side, there's that side, but mostly people don't care at this point. You think that's is just because it's like people from other
places
states
are coming here, yeah,
and
and
they're
they're
just like, oh, this
and-
place
yeah.
is nice. Like, it's
Coming
fine.
here
What are
with-
y'all talking
Yeah,
about? It's like-
come in here with their farm money.
Yeah.
Slick bastards. Come here with all that farm residue,
we had a good.
residual money, and
We had a good crop last season.
yeah, not even the motherfuckers getting those government subsidies for not growing anything.
Them chicken farms or whatever. Them fucking
Yeah, you know that-
stuffing 18,000 chickens in a coop and then getting
Yep.
money like they got.
Yo,
a
they
farm
getting
and
money
shit.
from the government to not grow nothing.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So you get government subsidies for not growing anything. Then your family lives below the poverty line on paper because you're not making any money. So you can file for like fucking welfare and shit. And you can say, "Oh, we only grossed $27,000 last year."
Right.
But you get government subsidies, and then you could fucking get loans against the land that you own. So think about what that land is worth on a farm. Millions.
Damn.
You can borrow against it. So you have equity on it. So you can get free money from the government two ways, and you can borrow money from the bank because you can sign a mortgage against the loan the
And
fucking
then
land you own.
send your
And then
kids
send
into
your daughter
Bed-Stuy with
so
a
she can
with a do-rag on.
so she can be in an improv class.
Go
And they can pay for her apartment over here.
Go study abroad in New York
Yes,
City.
In New
slick
York City.
bastards. Yes. Fucking. I'm gonna start calling them kidneys because they're transplants. I start calling them your fucking kidneys. Come over here.
You gonna make them confused for real.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing that shit. Every little Bushwick open mic I do.
Like,
You're like, what's up, kidneys? How
What
y'all
up,
doing?"
kidneys?
It's like kidneys. Yeah.
They're not even gonna know it's an inside
They
thing.
gonna
Yeah.
think it's cool. Yeah. They
We ain't calls us kidneys. Is this some new thing?
Hashtag kidneys.
Why
I'm
you
a little
say-
thick. I'm a liver.
Oh, God.
You got a white girl.
ain't nothing worse than a white girl. It's just like, yeah, I got ass. Like, you don't.
Yo, one of my
got
favorite
hips.
bits. One of my favorite bits of yours. is like, you don't no more. This nigga be like, hey,
It's not a joke.
he's
It's not a
like
joke.
women out here with these high-waisted pants. It doesn't make your ass bigger. It just makes your back look longer.
Oh, that is hilarious. That's fucking true.
Like, yo.
That's fucking true.
Yo,
I used
because
to
they
have-
be poking with the angle, and it's like they pants are way up in their rib
Not
cage.
even- not even that. It's just that-
Like, it's like
it's just
yeah,
the
cheeks thick with the peach emoji, and I'm like, fuck out of here.
It's not.
Got
Yeah.
Yeah.
that shit down like low hanging fruit.
I used,
like
to,
saggy.
I used to have to because like it was that, and I would say something else about women. Where like there was really no punchline for it. It was just a bunch of dudes being like, "Yeah, that's
Because we keep a lot of shit to ourselves. Like women be out here thinking they winning. It's only because we trying to fuck, so we keep a lot of critique to ourselves.
First of all, is the whole woman's movement and stuff like that. I'm really on some shit like, man, if you don't shut the fuck up.
What do you mean?
They walk like to other dudes that's like complaining about women. Man, shut up. They half naked walking around here.
Oh.
You
You fucking up our view.
Yeah, nigga, shut the fuck up. Yeah,
Stop being a goddamn
yeah.
tattletale.
Nigga, just keep being a low key creep and just
Chill.
fuck.
She got a whole bush out.
Yeah. Oh, you don't follow on Instagram, do you? Okay, all right. You ain't see her story. Like, all right,
Yeah.
keep talking that shit. Yeah, like a dumbass. Yeah. What's what you watching now? What's what you into? What media?
Yeah,
Oh,
what
man.
are you consuming lately?
It
Well,
gotta
right
be-
now-
it gotta be TV. It could be anything.
Well, I just went to go see. One of the things I did want to talk about was
You said you were a Tarantino fan. Right? Oh yeah,
Yeah, I do want to talk the new movie. I'm a Tarantino fan. Big
Likewise,
Tarantino
so,
fan.
yeah, yeah.
And I like the new movie. Did you see it yet?
I haven't seen it yet. I'm about to.
If you're a
in couple
Tarantino
days.
fan, you'll love it.
Yeah.
The people who are the casual viewer won't like it. But it's a long fucking movie like all of his, and the dialogue's great.
like
and
3 hours long.
it's like 2:45. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like 2:45, and it's dope. It's a dope fucking like. I love the way he writes dialogue, yo. And for somebody to make interaction between human beings that captivating is a fucking genius.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of if you really think about like Marvel, they're making a shit ton of money off of their movies, and there really isn't much character building.
No.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of exposition that carries the character. But in terms of like dialogue between, like, you can literally watch an Avengers movie on silent.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah.
Because a lot of what they're talking ain't shit until you get to the next fight scene. It's like, and then Tony Stark will say something funny, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Cap will say some bullshit Cory Booker speech. and then you're on to the next, inspirational motif, fucking, and then you're off to the next thing. Like, that's all he's cheesy as fuck.
Yeah.
So him, and that's it. I mean, the only part of the whole Marvel universe that have actual good banter or character building where you feel vested is the Guardians. The Guardians of the Galaxy.
Those are like the least known.
Known,
ones.
So they actually had to really create,
Write a script for
them. Where
Yeah.
I don't think they really write for Tony Stark since the first one. I think they
think
just tell Robert
ad-libs-
Downey to go in there and
Because
just
Robert
be him.
Downey
Well, because
Be
the
Robert Downey Jr.
story was dead. There's a comic book. There's been like 1 or 2 Iron Man cartoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's,
I hated the cartoon
You
when I was
just
a kid, too.
I didn't mind it because like I got to see it in motion. Like I knew of Iron Man, but then I actually got to see it. It was pretty cheesy.
I did think
Shit.
I did think that Tony Stark was like black or light skinned for a while.
Really?
Because he's a little tan in the cartoon,
comics,
in the
yeah,
comics and the cartoon.
Yeah, I thought he was like Latino.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
like,
I
I
did
thought
for
he
a while.
was
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Because he would have the real slick.
And then the goatee
shit.
thing. It was the goatee that did. I was just like,
the
yeah,
real
this
slick
is-
back hair, real sly. He looked like he was Cuban or some shit. He looked like he was a villain on Miami Vice. Like,
shit.
it's like when they was like he had substance abuse issues in the car. I was like, okay, you can see that. Yeah, he looked like he owed some money for some keys. Like that's what Tony Stark always looked like to me. But then they got Robert. I mean, he was a perfect casting.
Nah,
when I
it
heard
worked.
it.
dope though.
He was dope as
good,
fuck.
yeah.
I mean, they surrounded it all around him. Now they're doing the same with him now with Spider-Man. Spider-Man is now going to carry the Phase
Iron
4.
Man. Yeah.
They're gonna, and you don't like it?
I haven't seen.
You didn't see the
new
newest
Spider-
one?
No, I
Oh,
haven't.
it's dope.
I'm just trying to space it out and like watch
Yeah.
like actual movies again.
Got you.
it's
Yeah,
just-
because it has
I'm
dominated.
Burnt,
yes.
I'm
Yeah.
just burnt out on superhero
On Marvel
stuff.
and
Yeah.
shit.
Superhero stuff.
yeah.
It is like the thing, and you can tell it's not stopping anytime soon.
But that's also why another reason why I think people can't really appreciate Quentin's new movie. Because a lot of the movies are, and I was just talking to a friend of mine earlier today about this. A lot of the movies, and you can also throw the new Rockies into this. Is that I'm a big Rocky movie fan. Like I don't give a fuck what we say
Talking
about
Creed.
the new Creeds and stuff. I don't care what we say about the white man. The fucking Rocky movies are national treasures. I don't give a fuck with
I get
nobody saying.
hyped every time I watch those
Dude,
movies.
it is
Yeah.
fucking. But because you know why? Is because the Rocky movies have the same runtime as a Quentin Tarantino movie. They're epics. It's like it's a slow build. You get invested in the characters. You really become attached.
Yeah.
And then it's like it builds, and then it comes to a crescendo at the end where it's like that. All that building is a payoff. The different the montage of him working out and all of that. That comes at a critical point. If you look at Rocky, all the Rockies, they're almost run like operas. They run like a classical opera.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like once you get to the final fight, you feel like, yo, we've made this journey together.
Yeah.
Whereas the Creed movies don't really do that. It's like real quick, boom. The next thing you know, he's fighting for the heavyweight champion world. I'm like, nigga, how? He was just a middleweight.
Yeah, he was just fighting in Mexico.
Yeah.
he was
like
just fighting in Mexico.
how? There was no real build up for me to give a fuck about this kid. You know what I mean? Like Michael B. Jordan did an alright job, but I don't give a fuck about Adonis Creed. I
Right.
don't.
Yeah.
I think if they would have showed more of him as a child and built it like that, the relationship between him and Felicia Rashad, and then how he was always temperamental and how she had to nurture him.
Yeah.
It went literally from her finding him in the fucking youth center to then all of a sudden he has a well-paying job that he goes down to fight to Mexico and he's living with her. It's like, I don't really buy y'all relationship. Like, I know it had to be weird for her to take care of her husband's side baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what type of shit was going on there? I think they skipped over a whole lot of shit.
And it's that attention span stuff you're talking about, like how
Yeah.
people don't want to like, because I've tried to watch, like I do hang out with a few younger people and I try to like make them watch like just older movies,
Godfather, shit like that.
Godfather, these older 3-hour movies, and they can't do, oh, this is boring, but it's like, but you'll sit and watch like all of Stranger Things. Like you'll watch the entire season in a day.
Yeah.
You'll binge watch 9 hours, but you can't sit for 3 hours and like watch like real dialogue.
Yeah,
where it's
real-
like,
yeah.
that always like confused me. But yeah, like Quentin, he does have a way of making. I guess it's the way he shoots his movies and just kind of like obviously the way he
music
writes them.
choices.
He has a way of making boring everyday situations the most exciting and
Intriguing,
intense.
yes.
Like sitting, like Inglourious Basterds, sitting and watching these people just play a card game, and it's just like, this is fun, this is interesting, this is kind of going nowhere, but it's really, you're captivated, and then all of a sudden, like in 1 second, it turns serious, and you're like, how did that happen? I didn't even know how to happen, and now people about to die, and it's like, how the fuck did that?
It was something as subtle as the guy going
three
like
three
this,
instead of three with his
that
thumb.
way.
Yeah.
And something as minute as that, it's like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But people can't, and that goes back to what we were talking about earlier about comedy. It's like there's little with social media and these memes and with videos. What you have is that people think this is what comedy is.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And a lot of that shit is just low hanging fruit. So since the new generation believe that this is what comedy is with viral videos and memes, they can't appreciate the nuance of building a premise, coming to an angle. You know what I'm saying? Now me hitting you with a fucking what do they call it? A misdirection, and then something that's dark.
Yeah.
You really can't get it. It's the comedy junkies, people who actually go to comedy clubs, who understand that. But that's the problem with them doing a show like Comedy Central live at the at the Cellar this week or whatever.
Yeah.
It's too quick.
You're pulling back that veil, and now you're exposing this to a person who's never been to a comedy club,
and they'll never go.
And so now they're just like, what is this white girl doing?
Saying anything about this rapper.
And not knowing any contours. Like,
go to a club and you'll see why that works.
She's in a comedy club.
Yeah.
She's in a very well-known comedy club in New York City.
So she clearly is able to get booked there. She's been working there.
She's been doing comedy for years. So it's like she knows what she's not just saying some dumb shit.
How is she the worst comedian ever? She's at a place that you've never been.
Yo, and if you
that's
and
funny,
I had this comment with somebody, this woman I know, and she comes to my comedy shows and stuff, and she's, I'm appreciative of everything. But I told her she had something to say about her doing that job. I said, I want to see you do 3 minutes. Because I seen a guy go on stage with a good social media following, and they put him on stage.
That's all of them.
To do stand-up. He's a social media guy, did stand-up. I mean, no, he didn't do stand-up. They put him on stage. He was bombing. So he reverted to what he does in stand-up to try to get him out of it.
Oh, the social media
that
shit?
didn't work. Yeah, what he does in social media. So that didn't work. So then what he did was he started telling incriminating stories. I'm talking about naming names about a drug transaction. And they got him the fuck off the stage. They're like, yo, chill. And got him off. Because it's like, unless you're ever in that position that we're in and we go up there with a game plan.
Yeah.
The average person, they think they can just get on stage. All right, go on stage and let's see what type of shit you're going to say to get you out of that bomb hole. You're in that foxhole, and now you got to get your way out.
Yeah.
You're going to start shaming your mother, telling some dark family secrets in just hopes to get a laugh. Or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a little.
Don't let it be pitch black in there.
Just a smile, nigga. So.
Don't let it be pitch black and that light shining in your face.
And you don't see nobody.
You can't see shit.
You just screaming into the dark.
For 5 minutes. For 5 minutes. It's the longest 5 minutes of your life.
You hear like the bar sink clash in the
Nigga.
back. Oh.
Nigga.
Or you hear somebody coughing or some shit.
Yeah.
I bombed in Philly the other day.
Damn.
And all I had was mean mean faces just looking back at me like. It's like, but the thing is, as a comic, you just take it on the chin. You're a comedian. You're like, all right, it just ain't happening tonight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It ain't but the average person, they can't do what we do. And they think, like, I've had people go, well, maybe she could have said the joke this way. I'm like, I want to see you go up there with that same joke and try to deliver it. Or any joke and try to deliver it. I want to see you do it. You won't be able to.
First get over the fact when you get on stage, like your whole, like everything's in your throat. Like you're just like, oh shit, I don't even, like it's a weird, it is weird, like especially because if you think back like the first time you tried it or like the first time you're like, all right, I'm gonna go on stage and do a thing.
Yeah.
And it's like you're anxious and you got a lot of anxiety, but you get through it. And it's weird to me how people can't handle anxiety, but that's what comics do. Like anxiety is kind of important. It's like it's that weird struggle that helps you get to the other side.
My best sets is when I'm on the edge.
If you understand it, it could be a great weapon.
Yeah, like in that Comedians in Cars, where like you got to be a little nervous. Like if you're not nervous, something's up. And it's just like, we do that on purpose. Like we make ourselves anxious on purpose, going on. So even when we're feeling like this might go well, there's still that hint in the back of your head.
This might not. And
this might not.
The moment you don't respect that is the moment you get fucked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But just like we're not to get off subject, but so Quentin, a lot of people, like a lot of these movies, people are not appreciating now, and that's why we got like a lot of fast food media. It's like and that's what we figure, we're just gonna take that, it's leftovers. They're gonna take that and fucking rehash it, throw some spice on it and get that to them, and it's like, yo, dude, we've seen this. Like, how many times are you gonna remake Charlie's Angels? There's a new one coming out. Like,
there is?
Yes.
Show or movie?
Movie.
Another movie. There's nothing really original. It's like nobody wants to take.
Yeah.
They're gonna brown it up like they did. They redid Charm. With just like people of color. Like I'm like that's terrible. That show is minute when I first got here they did, and I'm pretty sure it's probably gone. That show was terrible.
That pisses me off. Where it's just like, give people like a Jordan Peele an opportunity to make something new with black faces. Don't just put black faces on something that's old.
Shit,
Like let these people create something new. Let people fall in love with a whole new set of ideas and characters that just happen to be black. Don't just put like, oh, what if we do this movie and make it black? It's like
with the same script, the same dialogue.
Like
my shit. If they do put a black person in there, I'm just
don't get me wrong.
Nope,
do it.
Nope, y'all playing it.
I want Black Ariel.
Nah. It's like because it's just like you playing it safe. Then you got an afro. You got it could just be mainly and specifically. I'm talking about like it'd be shit like Power Rangers or like some type of cartoon. They would have a black character in here, but he would never just have a regular Caesar haircut or something. He always had the fun.
He had to be the blackest of the black.
Yeah,
he had to
buck teeth. The nigga, remember the Burger King Kids Club?
Burger King Kids Club.
No. It was like the promotion they had to like sell kids meals and shit to kids.
Okay.
They just did like their own like little cast of cartoon characters.
Yeah.
All of them different. Like it was like a Latino kid in there and shit. And then the black guy, they all had nicknames that went to like a gimmick. So Latino kid, his name was Lingo, and he had like he had like pencils and shit on his like vest. There was a black dude named Jaws. He's the only one with a top lip. They had a little kid named Wheels. He was in a wheelchair and shit. I used to
funny.
That's 90s right there.
That's 90s. They didn't go fuck.
I used to try to do that as a bit. There was no real punchline to it, but because like those people want to see, I'm like, look at this goddamn picture. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
he was the only one with just a top lip. That's why he was named Jaws.
Because he's dangerous.
But that's like also us growing up. Like, and this kind of what I want to talk about too is wrestling. I grew up huge wrestling fan. We had no representation on wrestling.
Yeah.
Now was it?
And they used to just throw a black face up there and they would
Junkyard
shuck and jive. Oh my God.
Booker T. Washington.
Yo,
Yeah.
he would shuck and jive. Fucking, you had him. You had Coco Beware. Remember Coco Beware? You had you don't remember Coco Beware?
I didn't really watch
Motherfucker
wrestling.
had the parrot on his shoulder and he would do the shit.
The islands, like,
Oh,
I was like right after like Attitude Era.
Oh, man, I'm going back where you would have where they still had jobbers where it would be Hulk Hogan versus Todd Smith, and he have a fucking denim jacket on, and this guy's about to get annihilated in 5 minutes on Saturday morning while I'm eating fucking King Vitamin or some shit. I hated that fucking cereal. That
it was Lucky Charms without the marshmallow.
nigga, it was it was no, it was
fucking
Captain
brown
Crunch without the berries.
Oh,
and
shit.
it was worse. And then you had that and you had kabooms. If your mother made you eat kabooms, she did not love you. She did not fucking love. I hated that fucking cereal. But I would watch that, but we had no representation. You had fucking the Ugandan giant Kamala. You had and then
giant.
you had a white
Why'd
dude.
they make them exotic? Like they had to be these like weird
they had to be
exotic
weird
parrots and
motherfuckers. Like,
Straight from the jungle. Or some
Yeah.
shit.
yeah, you had motherfuckers like Then you had the white boy, Akeem the African Dream. You remember that motherfucker?
No,
That sounds
He
familiar.
was a
That's-
white
yeah.
dude who would dress in African garb
Kente cloth.
and
And shit.
would do this shit like he would
The
jive. He speak jive and he would do this shit. Oh man, yo.
Ooh.
The most I got was just Booker T doing a spin-a-rooney.
See,
before
but
he
Booker
started
T, I remember when Booker T came out, they wasn't no shucking and jiving. They was just some big scary motherfuckers. Like,
Remember that clip
from Harlem.
when he was doing the promo and shit? He was like,
Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga. I was watching it that day.
and then he clam up. He's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And you see Sherry's like, it's okay. I said nigga yesterday. It's all right.
When he just looked into the camera and said it, like he immediately just pulled it up. He was like,
He thought his career was over.
Dude, nigga.
Yo.
Shit, if I fucked up this check.
Yeah. Yo. But like that's why I like when I first started like really watching wrestling again, that's why I was fucking with the Nation. The Nation of Domination was
Yeah.
the only
Who was in
group that we had that was
who was in that?
That was Farouk, The Rock.
Okay.
This is
Yeah.
when The Rock identified as black.
Yeah,
Like,
you remember, I remember
identified
when he
as black.
when he first came on, he had like the he was in it.
He was
He,
Samoan.
he was Samoan, but he had
got
like the
big when he joined the Nation.
yeah.
It was Farouk, The Rock. You had Owen Hart. He joined later. You had D'Lo Brown, Mark Henry, and The Godfather.
Okay.
Yo, and because before then, Godfather was Papa Shango, and he was what was it? The Supreme Fighting Machine. He was that before he was the Godfather. Then he joined the Nation. He became the Godfather and shit. That was the first group of black men that you saw in wrestling who was motherfuckers we could relate to.
That's
Yeah.
like what,
You know what
5 or
I'm
6
saying?
of them too.
Huh?
There's like a whole group.
Yeah, it was
That's
a
like
group.
5 or 6
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
I think what they got now is New Day. It's like
New Day.
Ass, man. they look to me like emasculated black men. Like
They big as shit.
Booty-os and
Yeah.
they wearing like, nah, man. I wanted them to turn them into the Nation so bad. I'm like, look,
Yeah.
the only way turn these motherfuckers into the Nation. Like, what I would have done is because you know what's my man name, Kofi Kingston.
Kofi. I
He
like,
was
yeah.
making this. Now, what they could have did in wrestling is they could have really exploited, because you know wrestling used to always be kind of provocative. What I would have did was, you have like this whole injustice to black people happening and all this stuff, and people are divided on it and stuff.
Vince
You coulda
McMahon
used
ain't
it.
doing that shit.
But if I was on the writing team, this is what I would have did.
Yeah.
I would have had Kofi Kingston, because he's already over with the crowd.
Yeah.
I would have had every time he came close to winning the championship, some injustice would happen, and he would never get it. And then
The man would
eventually,
come out, or he would, or
and if-
Edge would send somebody.
something would happen.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't get it, or the New Day wouldn't get whatever. Then eventually what'll happen is when he finally got it, he would then turn heel, and then the New Day would become the Nation. And it was like, yo, fuck. And then that's how I would have flipped it.
That'd
I'd
been
have built
cool.
it slow like that.
Yeah.
Had him win, then have him turn heel.
Yeah.
Because it worked. It worked for The Rock. You know what I mean? So it was like, all right, that's what I would have did. But yeah, like we didn't have no fucking representation in there. And as soon as we get somebody, like look at The Rock now. They promote this nigga like a well-tanned white man. That's what
Yeah.
he's Mr. Clean. Like this
Yeah.
Yeah,
motherfucker.
he is. Yeah.
I'm like, yo.
I can tell there's like a publicist or some PR agent behind that, because like when he's in his car, like I have him on like Instagram, and he's in his car and he's gramming shit. It's just trap music. This dude is like, he's just sitting in his big ass Escalade, and he's just like, yeah, he wants to let it out. Like,
yeah.
he's trying.
He's fighting.
He's fighting.
I used to have this joke where I said The Rock is always putting up inspirational quotes and shit. He's always sweating, probably from a long day of fighting his blackness. He's like, yo, this dude is he's the most famous black man in the world. And we can't even like really accept him as our own, because it's just weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. Like when he first was coming up, he felt like ours. Like I was like, yo, this the first black dude I could relate to. No, not the first. because I would say Ron Simmons, Farouk was the first. When I used to watch him on WCW, I was like, yo, that's a black dude. I know niggas like him.
Yeah.
But The Rock was like, yo, this is the first one that's like
Yeah.
huge. Like he's on the level of a Hulk Hogan.
With that Rudy
a
Poo
Shawn-
candy ass shit. And he was like, oh, this
catchphrase. He was
He
rhyming.
was in that. He was in that White Club.
He was in that Wyclef video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Matter.
matter.
Yeah. It was like, yo, he was cool as shit. It's like we finally got one
Yeah.
that ain't a Kamala, ain't a Papa Shango, ain't a fucking
Niggas
boogeyman, ain't none of this goofy shit.
He's The Rock.
He's
And
The
it's-
Rock, and he's
Wearing a
cool.
chain and
Yeah.
shades with
And then
Versace
we,
shirt.
Yeah.
and what happened right after that? We
I
didn't
s-
have him no more. It's like,
When Scorpion King came out, that
nigga, it was a rap. He,
checks. Just checks.
he was Palestinian after that. He was like, The Rock was Palestinian. He was.
Oh,
It's
man.
like-
God damn.
Nah, every time.
he became the Dome of the Rock. He's Jerusalem. It's like Mashed al Aqsa, this motherfucker. Y'all don't know what the fuck that is. That's
Hell
just,
no.
That's a Muslim
No.
joke.
No, man, it's like that. And when he posts those pictures of his dad and shit, you're like, oh, he's trying to let it out. Like,
Yeah.
he's
Look, I
trying
gotta
Cause
make
his
y'all remember.
dad-
I gotta make y'all remember.
I gotta make y'all remember.
Because his dad was just big,
The big-
buff
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Tony
with an
Atlas.
afro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tony Atlas. Like that's all you knew. Like
Yeah.
Tony. Like they're famous
Traditional
for
wrestling,
being.
yeah.
They're famous for being the first black
Tag team.
tag team champions. But that's all you know about them because his father wasn't as big as Hulk Hogan. You know,
Yeah.
Tony Atlas could have rivaled Hulk
Yeah,
Hogan.
if they had wrote it in right, or if they had allowed them the shine at the
Yeah.
time, yeah. But they
And it-
went, yeah.
It was like, yo, we so people don't really understand. It's like it's the same thing with fucking we like a lot of different shit. They just don't like we don't have a race like I was talking about earlier about the race car drivers. A lot of our heroes, and me and my wife was going over this today because we watched the movie, the Quentin Tarantino movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of my heroes growing up were white men. If you really want to think about all the media, all the heroes you've ever had was white men.
Yeah.
T.J. Hooker, Magnum P.I., Bruce Willis in fucking Die Hard, Chuck
Yep.
Norris. Fuck, the only person of color who was a major movie star, who was an action star, for like Wesley Snipes for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
But before him, who else is there? Like, but I mean, talking about in our generation, because in the 70s you had Fred Williamson, Jim Brown.
Yeah.
I seen the Isaac Hayes
know,
movie.
yeah.
He was playing
Huh?
a cop. I
Who?
seen the Isaac. I think it was Isaac Hayes.
Isaac Hayes.
Yeah, like one of those just old ones. I guess he just did on his budget.
But I'm
Like-
talking about a huge star.
Oh, other
Yeah.
than like Shaft
Of
or
color?
something.
Yeah,
Bruce
because
Lee.
and
That's it.
even in those times,
Yeah.
they were still only popular in the black community, and they didn't have a lot of crossover. Like it was like, oh yeah, like Wesley was one of the first ones who sold out a superhero movie. Like it's
Yeah.
like people went to see that movie.
But even before the superhero movie, Passenger 57,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Money Train.
Money
Money
Train.
Train.
You had shit like he was in a couple.
Yeah.
And then like you said, Blade came. But before him, for our generation, who was there? Nobody. All our heroes were white dudes.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I kind of thought Hulk Hogan was a nigga because the damn tan he had. It was like, this motherfucker got, yo, he like my complexion.
Yeah, he was
for
like,
years.
Wearing a bandana and shit.
Yeah, he was the only nigga to go to court with a do-rag on and win.
Him was Macho Man.
Yeah.
Was that-
Like tan in the motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like that's as close you
and
got.
they, was like, they would act all like, ooh, they was like they were doing that shit. They be like,
Yeah.
it was like they popping and locking. They're like, yo, I know y'all.
Randy Savage was that dude,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yo, he was underappreciated when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Really?
Randy. Yeah, I
Was he?
mean, like when I
I
think
feel-
back
yeah.
to it, yeah, Randy was that nigga.
Yeah.
That was a character in the hat. Watching
We
any
like
of his
him more
promos,
now, yeah.
that shit makes me just laugh hysterically. It's so fucking
Yeah,
funny.
it's fun. All his promos was funny.
So funny.
But you didn't really get it then as a
Cream
kid
of
when
the
you
crop.
cream rising. And then he had the cream
The
and then he put it
rising
on his
moon.
he put it on his head.
My shit was
Keep shining my belt, Elizabeth. That really touches me in the heart now. It's like,
the first Spider-Man movie when he's the wrestler.
Bonesaw.
Yeah,
When he's
Bonesaw.
Oh, you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. Yo,
Got
you
you
know
in here
he,
for 3 minutes of pain.
yo, you know he put out a diss album, a diss rap song against
That-
Hulk Hogan.
It's
What?
hilarious.
Yes.
That's
This
funny.
is real.
This
A rap song
this,
against
this,
Hulk Hogan.
This Silk the Shocker writer for him.
Probably.
You know he wasn't
Yeah.
on beat.
He said you know he wasn't on
You
beat.
know he wasn't on beat. Oh man.
Neither was Easy E though. So I mean,
That's true. That's true. That they had to walk
too
him through
short
it. They
either.
had to-
Too. Whoa. I can't have it. I know there's some Bay Area niggas that's gonna hate me, but yo, I can never get into that dude. Too short. It's like yo, but
No.
I don't know, man. Yeah, but we like all our heroes was fucking white dudes, man.
Yeah.
White men.
Yeah, I did cling on the blade when that shit came out when I was a kid.
Yeah,
But
because
then,
it's the first motherfucker you see that look like you.
and then after that, it was just like if it was a black guy in a cartoon, and that was sparingly. They put it was a dude with dreads and then Ninja Turtles. It was short lived.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was there for a second.
I think I feel like
even in
Will
video
Smith
games,
was
too.
big for us for a little bit.
Oh yeah. When
Yeah.
Bad Boys came out, that was a big thing. I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah.
That was like what 92, 93.
Yeah.
When Bad
It
Boys
was
came
mid-
out.
Yeah.
That was
mid-90s.
huge
Yeah.
because you had these two guys. They were like still young, and they were at the peaks of their fame, and then they came together and did an action movie.
Yeah.
Because Martin was like, I don't give a fuck. Nobody, yo, Martin was like the
Martin.
biggest comedian
Beast.
then,
Yeah.
right then.
Yeah.
At that
Because
point.
he didn't
Yeah.
stop making movies
Huh?
from it was.
He had a busy period.
Yeah.
But he just kept
Thin line
making
between
shit.
Love and Hate, and then he did Bad Boys.
Even
Yeah.
before that, House
Then
Party
before that,
1 and
House
2.
Party 1 and 2. Before that, he was in Do the Right Thing.
Mm-hmm.
You do the right thing.
You know what I'm saying?
And then he had the Blue Steel, and he had
Blue
like
Steel.
but like so yeah he was crossing over.
Maximus.
And he
Carrier.
really like actually I rewatched the first two Bad Boys recently, and I was
Mm-hmm.
just like he really like he kind of made that movie like
Martin?
yeah man like he like I love Will, like he's dope, but yeah like
But Martin made the movies.
Because he
made
played,
the
because he was
movies,
the dude that was like just being a dad, was like he the one that just kept you on track, but then also had the
was
fucking
a straight
one-liners
man.
and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
straight man,
Yeah.
but he was also a comic, so it was just like
Yeah.
you could tell he could do it in a way
Right.
that was just different.
And really,
It was-
Will, he was leading Will. Because Will
Yeah.
was playing off of him.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Will
Will
was
ain't
just-
no comic.
He
Will
was
ain't
straight
a
up
co-
muscle. That was it.
Yeah.
he was the
Yeah.
muscle. He would do
Yeah.
all the action shit and talk to the bad bitches. But then like he was the grounded character. 'Cause
Yeah.
he had a family.
Family
He
and
was
shit,
doing his
yeah,
shit right.
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, Martin was the
Yeah.
shit, yo. People don't really give him his, like, I be seeing a lot of comics, they don't really get that nigga his due, yo. You know, like Martin, a lot of what you see comedians doing in that period of the early 2000s leading up right before the internet was a lot of Martin. Like a lot of how I viewed the dating world and how to interact with women and what was to expect when getting in a relationship was because of Martin Lawrence's stand-up. Martin Lawrence's stand-up, and then the Martin Show with
Yes,
him and Gina.
yeah.
A lot of motherfuckers' perception of a relationship and how to interact with their girl, you learn because you was a kid watching the Martin.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that was a hot time for TV because you had Martin, you had Married with Children, and you had, I think Fox had the craziest lineup. They had like in
They
Living
stay
Color,
having a crazy
Martin, Married with Children, Living Color, Martin, Married with Children. It was something else, dude. It was just like back to back, like classics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this nigga helped shape your adolescence. I was like 12, 13 watching Martin, maybe 11, 12, 13 watching Martin and watching his stand up, watching everything. I remember when Martin Lawrence, You So Crazy first dropped.
Was that when he had the big ass leather baseball
Yes,
jersey?
bruh.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. The first time I saw Martin it was way before Def Jam and all that shit. Martin did his HBO, I think it was, or
It
Showtime
was like- it
half
was
hour.
Half hour. His HBO
Mur-
half hour,
when
yeah.
you talk about murdering
Damn good.
from beginning to end,
Yeah.
murdering.
Yeah.
Then the
His
next
fly joke, and it's funny
Yes.
because that movie came out in the 80s,
the
but
fly.
the way he tells it,
It's-
it doesn't matter if you've seen it.
Yo,
Yeah,
it's
funny.
hilarious
It's
because
so-
yo,
yeah.
I will not watch The Fly to this day because that shit was disgusting. This nigga
it's
was
a
eating Twinkies and throwing up on his hand.
Yeah.
And then his hand, he would go, it was just
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah.
So yeah, you say he did the fly joke and all that. Then Martin Lawrence, You So Crazy came out, bruh, and it's a like
Chris Rock big him up all the time when he was just like
he said he didn't want to follow him.
yeah, he was like
Yeah.
if it wasn't for him, then he probably wouldn't have been, I guess, what he is now.
Oh, Chris Rock.
Yeah, because he just talks about that one show he did where like he didn't know who he didn't know
said
who
it
Martin
sounded like
was,
a riot.
and Martin was just hosting, and then
Yeah.
motherfuckers just murdered, and he had to follow it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Martin
Had to follow
yeah,
it, yeah.
It was like Martin was crazy, and they was talking. I saw this interview somebody gave. They said Martin was Robin Harris's protege. Like it was
shit.
Yeah,
I can kind of see that.
and they
now.
said
I can really
and
see
it was
that.
like Martin used to come down to a
Where's
room
Martin
that
from?
they had. He's from either DC.
He's
from
DC.
DC.
guy, yeah.
But he said Martin used to come down to I forgot the name of the room. And Martin used to come down to the room. He found out about it because it was a room being run by a couple of comedians, but Robin Harris was one of them. And like a lot of them would be on the road and stuff or whatever. So then Martin would come down, and I think him and Robin connected. And Martin would go down there and be murdering. He became known going down there. He said, and then Robin Harris was supposed to be the original host of Def Jam.
I can see that.
Because his whole shtick was the audience, fucking around with the audience and stuff.
Yeah.
Robin Harris dies. So the one it goes to after that was Martin Lawrence. Yeah. I don't know how true it is. I forgot who it was that was telling this story on social media. It was a comic. It was an older comic.
Yeah.
It was talking about it, and it was like, yo, you could see that. But Martin was fucking amazing when I was growing up. Like, crazy.
Him, Martin was heavy for me, and Eddie Griffin.
Oh, bro.
Eddie Griffin.
He's such an underrated guy.
So underrated, and like obviously, like he got into the legal trouble, and then I just feel like
What did he
media
get
kind of
into?
kicked him to the curb. Well, like he like went bankrupt and a bunch of other shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
But like,
But he's
and I
on
feel
to-
like media kind of kicked him to the
he's
curb,
on
and he
to-
was talking too much real shit at
Dude,
the time.
Did you
At
see
the
his
time.
last? No, he still is. Did you
Oh,
see
yeah.
his last special? You can tell him I said it.
Yes, yeah.
Bruh.
That's like 2018 or 17, somewhere around there.
No, probably
Or
like 13 or
13,
14, something
oh,
like
really?
that.
It was-
But
yeah,
yo, that special, you can tell him I said it.
Yeah,
Bro, he dropped so many jewels in that, and it's hilarious.
yeah.
Hilarious as fuck. Eddie Griffin, I remember when he burst on the scene mainstream, and that's the thing that somebody else brought out too. I was talking to somebody, and it was Freddie Sheffield. Me and Freddie Sheffield, we recorded our episode. So we were talking about how now you have a space because like what Jerry and Eddie was talking about is like you have so many different avenues you can go, right?
Yeah.
Back then, because you had but so many clubs. You had but so many HBO specials that they were giving out at the time.
Right.
There was no niche. You had to be good enough for them to go, yo, we're going to put you on TV. So you went through that, paying your dues to finally someone go, yo, so when you saw them, like Freddie said, no, you saw greatness. Because they had to be great to get to that point.
Yeah.
Now you don't got to be great.
Nah.
You can just be
All right.
niche.
You could know how
you
to
could
work
just-
social media.
You can
and-
find your group of motherfuckers
Yeah.
and build a living off of that. Whereas I look at it, for me, is like
Hashtag Negro Jump.
when I was
There
when I was growing up,
you go.
when I was growing
The brand.
y'all got to do that every episode.
Yeah.
Now we were just like like you just find your
Yeah,
your,
you
your
find your
crowd.
hashtag. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
hashtag
find
Negro
your
Jump,
you
yeah.
find hashtag Negro Jump. like that's what made me growing up thinking I couldn't do comedy because people like I had people go like, yo, you should do stand up, and I'm like, there's no way I can be because what you saw was greatness. These motherfuckers are destroying. Like Chris Rock, what you got here, Bigger and Blacker?
Yeah.
Bruh, when you watch that special, this motherfucker's murdering. He ain't skipping a beat.
The
You
minute-
like,
the minute
yo,
he step
I've
on
got to be
stage.
like that
Yeah.
Yeah.
to get a laugh.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm doing stand up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that builds the that saves the integrity of the art. It's I watch these videos sometime on YouTube. Cause believe it or not, even though we talked about it, wrestling kind of parallels our art form. Because when you're on stage, you are either the baby face of the hill, and you're also manipulating the crowd, and you're listening to the crowd as to how they move. So to sit around and listen to wrestlers talk about ring psychology, because there's a lot of psychology in comedy, how we build our bits and stuff like that. We're trying to elicit a response from the audience, whether it's a groan, a laugh, a moan, they're thinking or whatever, right? So, dude, I was watching Al Snow. You remember Al Snow from the Attitude Era?
Yeah, I
Who
remember
wants
Al
head? Dude, watch his videos because he gives a lot of gems about psychology, about getting heat and getting the audience to hate you and stuff like that, and how to flip and turn. But either way, he's talking about wrestling, right? So he did this tryout that anybody who called themselves wanted to be a wrestler did, called the Ole Anderson tryout. So what you would do is the Ole Anderson tryout was 600 free squats, 400 push-ups. You would 600 free squats. Then you would run the stadium stairs where inside this Coliseum, inside where the wrestling tryout was at. You would run the stairs up and down, up and down, up and down. Then you would get done with that. Then you would do 400 push-ups, no matter how you did them. He said you would start out with like 50 people. By the time you got down, you're down to 30, then maybe to 10, maybe to 5. He said then after you did all that shit, then you had to get in the room, to get in the ring, and then you had to like pretty much get on all fours, and the dude had to like sweep out your leg or whatever, and then put you in like in a rear naked choke.
Damn.
Right?
Yeah.
Put you in a rear naked choke, and then be pulling at your nose, your eyes, and all that, trying to, see if you'll quit. He said, and the motherfuckers would quit, and it would go. He said the reason they did that was to protect the business. So that if you really wanted to be a wrestler, you went through all of that to become a wrestler, then you find out later it's all right, it's a work. We're working together. This is all choreographed. But they protected the business back then because a lot of people assumed that wrestling was real to a degree. There's some realism. He said it protected business because if a motherfucker believes that I want to be a wrestler, they left that tryout going, fuck that. It's hard to become a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing that should be with that back then with us looking at comedy.
Yeah.
You was able to see the greatness of the greats and go, yo, if I want to do this shit, I got to be just as good as him.
Yeah.
And it weeds out a lot of motherfuckers. It's like, yo, either you're gonna do it or you're not.
Now you got that decent. You can be
now you got the average. You got Chance the Rapper talking about something. Yeah, I want to try stand up.
Yeah.
It's like you got the average person. I think I'm gonna do it. It's like, dude, that was not the case back in the day.
Blake Griffin's doing stand up.
I tell
Exactly.
people,
He's doing stand up.
I tell people go ahead. I like how
he's got a bit
it.
though. It seems like he's doing his homework a little bit.
I just like
but
how
it's still like
I just like how
anybody
he's
can do
doing it. It's the same thing with with Wayne. Where he like
Lil Wayne?
Yeah, where it's like they really treat like Wayne with skateboarding. Like,
oh yeah.
They treat the shit like a hobby. They have a job that what they already known for, and then they kind of just do it. I just hear about Blake he'll just drop in and like ask for time.
He goes to comedy store because he has comic friends apparently.
Yeah,
but and he seems like he's working on shit. But
yeah,
it's just
but the people that
interesting.
actually like just like it, like I don't care. But the people that was like they want to try it, I'm like, go ahead,
yeah,
shoot your shot, and then they do it. Yeah,
but the thing is, it should be a standard to where they go, hey, you know what, this ain't for me. Now you don't have that because
I've seen it. I've seen it where like
Will Smith bombed. So.
They're not gonna tell him though.
being that Dead Crow, I would see that. I got to experience a lot at that place. But like,
it was a good gym
Blake
of a
Griffin
club.
to take his ass to Essence
people
Bar in Brooklyn.
He probably kill.
Go to Essence Bar.
He might. Go to.
That's where you know. Go to Footprints.
I've heard about that.
Go to Footprints in Brooklyn.
What is it? What is it? Essence, Footprints, and Linden Diner. Those are the notorious places.
Nigga, I'm 1-1. I'm 500 at Lindenwood Diner, bro. I gotta go down. I gotta get in the playoffs. I gotta get above 500, my nigga.
But nah, I've literally seen one time a guy he brought damn near the whole room. What Dead Crow fit like 110, 115?
Yeah, about 110. Yeah.
He brought like 20 coworkers and friends and shit, which was a Thursday night on an open mic. He brought most of the room, and then we knew where all these people came from because they were talking the whole time. Once he finally got on stage, this girl just yelled out back, was like, "All right, he's about to go on stage." They all run inside. He fucking destroys a 4-minute set.
Really?
Just rips it because everybody just laughing at him.
Coworkers at it. Yeah.
Then I see the same dude come out next week. Like I'm just watching him at this point, and then he goes up, tries to do the same shit, just bombs, and then I never see that guy again. Never again. It'll work. Isn't that what Jerry Seinfeld was like? The fucking ecosystem works his way.
Yeah. It'll clean. Yeah,
it cleanses.
It cleanses itself.
Yeah,
it does. But at the same time, I think with shit like that happened with the Dina Hashem thing. I think with what we have with all of these different avenues where people can share their comedy and write funny statuses and think they're just as good as who gets on stage, I think it kind of you're kind of lowering the bar for the audience.
Shit, Facebook makes me more mad than anything when I see them like, oh, everybody wants to
be funny.
Yeah, well, they just try to be funny on social media. It's like, oh, I'm hilarious. It's like, you're not. It's like, go do that shit on stage. Yeah,
right. Yeah, give it a shot.
Yeah.
Or like coworkers, if like that don't know you do comedy and you hear them talk about shit, or like they think they're funny. I'm like, nah, that's not.
This guy's.
I would have somebody like.
That's an awkward laugh. That's not a you killing laugh. She's uncomfortable, my dude.
when people like try to run shit by me or whatever, I'm just like, it's cool.
It's whatever.
It's like, yeah, that's,
Try it.
It's like, yo, go up there, give it a
try
shot.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, it's the same shit I be telling people when they would come to me. It was either me or you. If you weren't there, then they would come to me if it was like a risk race
There weren't
related.
so there weren't a lot of black comics in the scene.
It
It
was
was maybe
four of
about
us.
four.
It was 4 of us.
and we all crushed. Like all it was me, Wills, and
Granger
Granger
at
at once.
once.
We're like we were good. We were decent, and people would come up and they would just be like, I don't know. They would always have they would try bits. Is what another comic Troy would say. He's like, "Are you running bits on me right now? Like, is that what you're
That's
doing?"
what I would tell. I would
It's
straight
like
up
you're not
ask
having a
them, I'm
conversation
like,
with me at all. You're
is this
just
a-
trying
I'm
to
like,
talk
just fucking-
comedy.
yeah.
Like
Just fucking tell me. But
Yeah.
it would
They're
they
trying
would
to
try to
get
run. They would try to risque shit at me, and I would just say the same thing I say to people. I'm like, try it. Let's see what
And
happens.
these are audience members?
Nah, these are like comics, or
Other
maybe,
comics,
or
okay.
maybe.
Oh, but Mike
Sometimes
is just
always
trying to-
might
yeah,
say
trying to-
something. Yeah,
yeah.
but it's just like
But they're trying to do a risky joke.
they would run it by me first. I'm like, try it. Just let's see what happens. Do it
Yeah.
on stage.
yeah,
Let's
nervous
see it.
people.
Yeah, my thing is I don't know. It's not. I don't know. I'm kind of half and half on that.
But people will
It's
look
like-
at since doing comedy, I've gotten more to just really listen to what somebody's saying. Like
Yeah.
I've worked with like 2 just dumbass white dudes that was from some small ass town in North Carolina that said like nigga in everyday conversation. The thing about it, I realized with them, they knew not to address anybody in front of them that they would talk to. They always be like, "Oh, them niggas over here, like niggas in my like they ain't about shit." So it was like they knew. It's weird to even say.
Yeah.
They knew how to say it. And so immediately, only being around them for like 5 minutes, I'm like, obviously you came from wherever, and
Yeah.
black people was just like, all right, just
Yo.
you learn how to say it, and then but they
Hey,
know how.
Yo, I'm gonna
They're not crazy. That's
Yeah.
that's the crazy thing about
Yeah.
it.
I'm gonna tell you.
They know how to like walk in their lane.
Yeah, they know how to be
yeah.
like, nah, I'm
Yeah.
still cool. I know how to. Y'all ain't gonna check
Yo,
me. It's like, nah, because you know you ain't fucking stupid.
Yo, my car broke down.
Wade.
My car broke down one time, right? So I had to get a AAA, and I was stranded. And this dude, so we have to drive like an hour from where my car broke down to my the dealership where I got my truck from. This white boy picks me up. He's like kind of cool, white dude or whatever, young motherfucker. So we riding in the truck and playing rap and shit. So then we get in this hip hop discussion. And he was like, yeah, man, such and such, who you listen to? So I'm telling him who I listen to. I said, I don't listen to none of this radio shit, yeah. He's like, yeah, man, because most of these niggas is whack. And
They catch you off guard.
Bro, I was sitting there like, and I'm like, yo, he could feel it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to knock the shit out this dude, but I'm stranded. He's got me by the balls, like, because my car is on the back of this fucking tow truck.
Yeah.
So I just made it awkward for the rest of the ride. Like, I was just like, I wasn't engaging him no more, and he kind of got the message. But bruh, I was like, yo, I want to knock this shit out this dude because the way he just said it,
Yeah.
and it, and it was benign in context,
Yeah.
but it was just at the time, like we was dealing with a lot of racial shit going on.
Yeah.
At the same time, and it was just
Plus,
like
your car just broke down.
my
You're
car
like,
just
I'm
broke
already
down.
feeling-
There's a lot
And
of
now-
frustrations.
Now this
built
dude
up.
calling me a nigga, and I
This
can't.
nigga said,
"Are you saying nigga?"
These
He's
niggas
like,
is, and I'm like,
Huh?
yo, I was
Yeah.
just,
"You in the Twilight Zone?"
I want to
today?"
fuck you right up.
Yeah.
I was like, is this a test? Like, is it what would you do? Like from ABC,
Testing your blackness.
Word up,
Like,
word
how
up.
committed to the cause are
The
you?
Mexican dude just hops out. Hey, hi, I'm John Quinones from ABC. You see, he called you a nigger. And your car's up on the,
It's so
how does this
weird.
make you feel? I was like, motherfucker.
It's so weird, man. I don't know. Motherfuckers, they want to say it. You got Tom Hanks' son. He's a rapper, and he
heard.
be like, I got the right to say it. Like, go ahead,
What?
say it. See how far you get in your career.
Yeah. No.
Definitely.
I will I'm not really, like I said, he caught me at that time, but like when it comes to comedy and shit like that, like my thing is, and this goes back to I guess what we talking about with Dina. This applies to Dina Hashem shit. Is like comics who were getting upset about her joke, right? My thing is because they're mainstream, and my thing is like,
Who's
listen.
mainstream?
I'm saying like she's mainstream right now,
Uh-huh.
Being on that
Yeah,
show and
yeah,
everything's
yeah.
mainstream. My thing is, as a black comedian, I'm not going to get too beside myself about what a white comic says on stage. Because guess what? I'm going to say what the fuck I want on stage. Because if you try to censor her, what you're doing is you're censoring yourself. if you're critiquing or you're saying her joke is this and that, you're censoring yourself because in the same token, you got comics who do jokes about white people. White people don't want to hear jokes about themselves all the time.
Nigga, I gotta.
You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, we
but
all got a catalog.
We all got a cat. You know.
Yeah,
but my thing is, if you're gonna tell,
15.
even though we all believe that what she said wasn't bad and it was a funny joke, but if you get mad about that, all right, now you take your ass on stage and you say something about Trump supporters. Now somebody stand up and say, "Yo, shut the fuck up." They're justified now, right? Because what you're doing is you're making it where if you say whatever kind of joke on stage, they're gonna censor you next.
Yeah.
So why fight against your own battle? My thing is like if Dina said not if, but she said that joke. To me, I just looked at it as like she's pushing the art forward.
Yeah.
Because if she can get that joke off, nigga, guess what? The joke I'ma say is gonna be just as dark.
Yeah.
I want my shit to get. But now you've made such an uproar that you made him take that joke down.
Yeah.
All right, now let me do my Central Park Strangler joke.
Right.
At a week at the cellar if I end up getting there one day.
Right.
You don't take that joke down because people will look at that and go, I'm advocating
Yeah.
murder. And I'm not.
And people want to push their own agenda on this stuff where it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, obviously it is unfortunate that the rapper died, but what a lot of people are trying to do is push look at this white person saying something about a black dude.
She's not
Yeah.
white.
Instead of saying, and you kept saying that shit too. He's like, she's not white.
Yeah.
But of course, they're saying, oh, she's fair skinned. You're talking
That's
about
all you see. Yeah,
that's all you
is-
see, and they want to push that agenda because they know that that's going to get the clicks. They're trying to do
Right.
it's black versus white. No, it's just it's an interesting joke. It's a funny concept, and you got to let people.
And it's a crazy perspective.
It's a crazy perspective, and you got to
Yeah.
let people get it off. You know what I mean? Like you got to. I don't know.
Because my thing is, if I say my joke, I want mine to be able to have its space. I want it to be able to live.
I like hearing people give like observations about black people.
Yeah, me too.
I tell them like, no, run that shit. Like I want to hear it.
Because when you have a non-black comic actually do a joke and black people are involved, and I hear it, I go, yo, that was well researched. Even if you don't like it,
Andrew?
That means you went on your phone and Googled something and learned more.
or you grew up around black folks.
Or you
grew up around black folks. You know black people. It isn't lazy. I've been to shows or whatever, and there's lazy, racist jokes. There's jokes I heard that's Islamophobic. There's jokes I've heard, but they're jokes. And the thing is, like, even from a space as a fan, I'm like, as a fan of comedy, I'll go, yo, that's fucked up, but that's hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Like, people losing their shit over Nick DiPaolo special. I watched it. The motherfucker was funny. He said some shit about niggas. I'm like, yo, it's funny. The shit was funny. It's. I know motherfuckers like him. If you grew up in the Northeast and you've been around Staten Island and you've been around certain parts of Brooklyn and Jersey, and you know motherfuckers like him. But the difference is he's funnier than them.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, and then you could get your shit off on a guy like that all the time, and then you just, I said what I said, you said what you said, we all good. Comedy is like the common ground.
Yeah.
So we come to get our shit off. I hike on you, you hike on me, and then that's it. It's a wrap. Yeah. But like you said, I like to hear that shit.
Yeah, if it's good, then I want to hear
exactly. And if they can like. And it's weird seeing us. Oh yeah, you portray it well. Like you know what I mean. Like if it's run right, if it is done right, it's like like you put a little thought into. You didn't go for just shock value. You actually went for like hey, I want you guys to learn a little something because a lot of times it'll be a white comic in front of a like predominantly white audience, and they don't get the observation. And I can tell when they clam up because they didn't know something that the comic knows. But the black people are like, yo, that's
hilarious.
I remember that.
True.
I remember that
That's
time.
hilarious and that's true.
And those are my favorite because it's always the white people are silent and like the 10 black people sprinkled around
Start
the crowd,
laughing.
fucking balling, and then it grows because they look at them and they're like,
oh, it's okay to laugh. Oh, that's true.
It's like,
yeah.
ha,
You remember when Rich Voss came through?
Yeah.
And it was literally, I think it was just me and Cordero, the only black people in
the room.
in the entire room. We're not on the show. We're not.
It's a very white town.
Very, very white. Rich. He just has like it was damn near like a one-liner where he was like, yeah, man, they like black people always talking about white people like they crazy and stuff. He was like, yeah, man, white people they be doing taxes and shit. Like, you just hear me and this nigga just laughing hysterically in the back. It's a room full of silence. That's it. Yeah. All these other white people just like, what? Yeah, they just like, what?
Because they're being phone.
If I laugh, then that means I'm the problem.
It's like, nah, man, just fucking let it out. Like, stop it. To me, it's therapeutic. It's like this is some shit. Rich Voss is a white guy, just like Bill Burr. Bill Burr's married to a black woman. There's shit he knows about black people
Yeah.
that if he says it and you hear it, you're like, yo, that's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
He got that from
You know,
first
but
hand.
my
He
thing
went to
is,
a barbecue.
we all should be able to have the freedom for the attempt. Because even if those jokes that they say, they're funny now, but when they first said them, they probably weren't funny. And you need to be able to have the ability
These were
to
thoughts.
grow.
These were thoughts.
They were thoughts. And they just started out and they were able to work that joke till it became funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They should have that freedom. We all should have that freedom. But
Hell,
the moment,
I mean, the people who are like what we consider the legends now, they don't even let their stuff out until it hits a special. Like they pop into clubs, they pop into these like low rooms, and then you have to go pay money, and they lock your phone up, and they do all sorts of stuff. So it's like, we're trying to preserve this.
Well, that should show. That should
Meanwhile,
show how important
a lot of people
it
are
is.
just like, as soon as I say this at a mic, I'm filming it, and it's like. I mean, I get the idea of promoting yourself, and I love self-promotion, but at the same time, it's like, give it a second. Run that like 10 more times.
Family and shit, they always be hitting me up like, when you gonna put a clip out? I'm like, I don't have much of anything. Like y'all don't understand this whole process, and then also I'm learning it at the same time.
Yeah, and it's a gift, and it's also having comedy and these thoughts that you have. People don't really look at how fragile that the gift you're trying to present somebody. It's like literally like taking a piece of wood and trying to carve it till it's just right. And then when it's right, you're like, yo, it has the right curves and the right symmetry and shit. And then you're like, yo, here. You literally keep this shit to yourself. Like that show I said I bombed. It's like I had jokes that I probably could have done that worked, but you feel some type of way as a comic on stage, and I could be wrong, but just from my observation, is that there's certain jokes you don't want to do until you feel as though that the audience is comfortable with you and get how you think, and then it gives you lease to go into more riskier areas.
That's how a lot of vets do.
A lot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I see these motherfuckers wasn't on board with me talking about where I was from, so internally I was like, all right, well, I'm not gonna really share with you what I really want to talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I have this. I don't know if you guys have it, but I look at some jokes like this is my introduction chunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you get to know me as a person and where I'm from, and then within that you get my humor. Then once you're on board with that, now I'm gonna take you on this whole journey of how I think about certain shit. And you're locked in
because you wanted to be, because you're already at this level now.
Right. Yeah. You've already built, like we were talking about before.
Relationship. It is the conversation, like building their relationship, getting them that time, and there is a trick to it in doing it in just an hour, or doing it in 20 minutes, or doing it in like whatever amount of time you have to get the joke you want to say off. Because I feel like there's a lot of that too, where I'm like, I like these jokes at one point in time, or I still like them, but that's not the gym I want to like. I want you to like this, but I'm gonna say this stuff.
But I'm gonna hold that off
that I know works. I know it works, and it works for you because it'll get you in that safe space. But then I want that 2 minutes or that 5 minutes to just be like, this is what I really want. This is
because we're really peeling back layers of our personality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I think about the shit that I got, I'll be like, yo, I'm literally peeling back layers of myself. And I have this that I really want to fucking say, but I don't know if I feel comfortable with you enough before, you get what I mean?
It's not just about you. It's about me.
It's about me.
I want to feel I need to let this out. Let me talk to you.
And I said that today on stage. I say it as part of my shit now, but I mean, the first time I said it, it was like, I have that bit where I go where I talk about the superheroes and shit, right? And then I talk about like Bruce Wayne. And then I say about then I go the NFL and NBA is no more than a bunch of Bruce Waynes who own Supermen. And you see like the audience go, ooh, like that was like, I don't know if they think if it's profound, huh?
That's light.
Yeah.
But it's like I said that and I go, that one's for me. You know what I mean? I said after I go, that one's for me. I said, this shit, it can't all be about you. You know what I mean? I said, some of this is for me and some of it's for you. You know what I mean? But it's like, even in that, it's like, all right, I have these, because I talked to Rod about this. I'm like, I have that chunk of jokes where I talk about the characters. And it's like, I know they work, but I hate saying them now because I know they work because I haven't been able to explore my other real true feelings. You know what I mean? The other jokes that I want to explore of your personality. Yeah. I feel like they're being ignored and I just keep polishing this fucking thing here. So then I threw that little bit in there to kind of like, yeah, this is for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It brings
Yeah.
me back. It centers me.
It centers me, and then it's like, and if you like it, dope. And then that's a cool test of like jokes like that where you do have those testers where it's like, how far can I go with you? And if you like that, all right. Then
I'm going here
yeah,
next.
Yeah, we're gonna go here now. Yeah. And sometimes even letting them know that's like, all right, oh y'all like, okay, cool, all right, cool, freaks.
So we like each other.
Freaks in the house. Yeah.
I'm not alone.
Yeah.
Y'all assholes too.
I went down to Atlanta like a year or two ago, and like it was the first time I got to do a show in front of like black people around my age. Were like young black hipsters into like whatever. Everybody's all dressed differently. Like real artsy people mixed in with like the obvious like nightlife, like definitely somebody in there selling drugs and shit like that. I did my usual shit I would do in North Carolina, which was pretty much just talk about white people. So this is the wrong crowd to be doing that in front of. It was like, nigga, just be funny. Talk about some funny shit. And I bombed. But it was like 3 or 4 like dudes just came up to me. Was like, yo, that was funny as hell, man. I'm like, what the fuck were you? Where were you at? But just realizing now was just like, oh, it's just talk.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Some people want.
You
the
can't
bits,
describe
and
this
some
fuck.
people-
Yeah, you can't. It's hard to describe
Some
that comedy
wanna,
shit to people.
Some people want to know you.
Yeah.
They want to get to know who you are.
Yeah, don't talk at us, nigga.
Yeah. They want to get to know who you are. And sometimes also it's like it take people a while to get on board with who you are. Sometimes I want you to give them a little of what they're used to. And it's like, and when we're different type of niggas, like I think different. I'm not going to go and do, like I said, I was in Philly. I'm not going to be Kevin in Philly. I'm not going to do that's not me. You know what I mean? I don't do the comedy like those guys do. So it's like when I stepped back and thought about it, I was like, you know what? It's just going to take me coming down here a few more times for me to get used to the room and for the room to get used to me because of the way I think, the way I deliver shit. And it's like, all right, that's what it's going to take. But I had a similar situation that happened to you where you said people came up to you after the show.
Yeah.
I had the same shit happen. I did a risque joke in front of older black people. And this was a turning point in my shit was I felt like I bombed. I was like, yo, I bombed, whatever. And I was talking outside with a friend of mine who she was, would come to my shows. And her and I were talking outside. She's like, you didn't bomb. It was funny. And I'm like, yeah, but them niggas ain't laugh or whatever. Then I'm outside and they come up to me one after the other because I did my Martin Luther King Jr. bit. I'm talking about when this bit was new. Did this bit. They're like, they clammed up. Oh, that ain't right. Blah, blah, blah. When I did it, then I'm outside and they come up to me, yo, dude, that bit was hilarious. They like, that joke you said about MLK, hilarious. So I was like, nigga, why didn't you laugh then? And they're like, yo, because, it's Martin Luther King and then no one else really laughed and all that stuff. And that taught me a lesson. It's like, yo, y'all just phony.
Yeah.
That's all it is. You're phony. It has nothing to do with me. I'm not the asshole. You are.
People are scared. People are scared
You're
of words,
choking
man.
your own laugh because you want. It's supposed to be the first reaction, but you
want to look better in the eyes of other people that you're not this piece of shit. When in fact,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I love those moments though, especially when like you can tell them they're trying to be reserved, but the one dude can't help it and just like loses it, and it's like, thank you. One honest human being who's like, no, that's fucking yeah.
When you'll get the out of the couple, you get the boyfriend, and then the girl mad, just mad,
hit him.
just
Dude,
mad.
that's what dude. That's what I get with my relationship material. I do, because the chicks are clam up. And the dudes are clam up too because they still trying to fuck. It's like, yo, dude,
Yeah,
I'm up here for you. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't talk about this shit enough. Like they don't know what's going on in our head.
yeah.
You know what I mean? They just think that, if you get her, you've won. You haven't won. Like, it's like, they always keep us on our toes, man. It's like, nah, bruh. Like, you got to let her know some of this shit we be holding inside. You have to.
I've been talking to somebody about that before. I was like, oh, y'all don't understand what it's like to have a dick, do y'all? Y'all don't have no idea.
Yo, dude, because women are able to shift their responsibility and how they're feeling and make it someone else's fault. Like the Aisha Curry thing that happened, right? When she said that she sometime would like for somebody, because you hear how everybody wanted you to understand where she was coming from. It's like, nah, if we're in this whole thing about men and women being equal, guess what? She got to take those L's. Ain't nobody pushing up. We got to take them. Nobody pushes up on us. You just experienced what it's like to be a dude for a while.
Unless you popping.
If you popping,
You understood what it be like. What it was like to be with your friend a little better than you. Or
Yeah.
more successful.
Exactly.
Just to be the friend that everybody know about. It's like, what's up, Aisha? What's up?
Yeah, that's it.
So how you
That's
doing,
it.
Aisha?
Like, just take those L's. Ain't nobody checking for you.
Yeah.
Take those L's. Now you expressed something that a man, if we was to do that, we'd be pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Hey man, ain't no chicks checking for me.
Oh, you need to try better.
Hey,
Try
I'm
I'll
married.
see that.
Look, I'm married and I'm striking out left
I
and
ain't
right.
gonna lie.
Like,
I ain't gonna lie. I do that when I go on when I'm on social media, and it's like if a girl put like a thirst trap or some shit like that, I look at the time when they posted it, and I see how many likes. I'm just like, ooh, it's been an hour. You only got like 20 likes. Was it
you feeling?
Was it worth it? Was it worth it?
yo, and then
Bet you gonna put them titties away now.
next you know it's deleted.
You try to show
Hey,
you
look,
try to show
but
your
that's the
boy.
thing.
You just like, oh, where it go?
Yo, but
Yeah,
that's the
where'd it
same
go?
shit. That's the same shit if a dude hollers at a chick and she don't respond.
Yeah.
We get toughened up from that shit. It's like, all right, cool.
I will say this.
Women can't handle that.
This
They can't
is-
handle that rejection.
This is off of me just being like an airhead a lot of times when like realizing like when someone will just like come up to me like, hey, I want to fuck you, but it's like if I'm not feeling it, then it's just like I try to let them down easy, but it's
Back
like
off.
that. It's a hard having to tell a girl like I'm alright. That's pretty.
That only makes them want you more though, because they're just
'Cause
like, what the fuck?
Yo,
Did
Yeah.
you just
when they
say-
just straight out just
They
say
wanna
like I
talk
want to fuck you, and you're just like
They
I'm
want to talk
cool.
about male entitlement. That's women entitlement. The fact that you believe that if you approach a guy that he's supposed to accept you how you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's lucky. Like the arrogance. Like, like you're fucking arrogant.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you realize y'all outnumber us 4-1, right?
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing too. They don't realize it's like it's so many young women, man, who don't get that at all. It's like I'm seeing so many chicks who I knew when I was in my early 20s. Now that I'm in my mid 30s, who are desperate, and they don't realize how desperate they sound. It's like it's hilarious how desperate, and it's like you're getting up there in age, and there's so many new models of you
Yeah,
walking
Yeah,
around
every day.
and there's not many of me, and you're desperate, and it shows, and it sucks.
Yeah.
It's like you see how many chicks that put up fucking get a woman that has her own and could do, and it's them just throwing their
Swipe.
resume out there. It's like
Yeah.
swipe. like a young, vibrant chick don't have to do that. Just like, you know what I mean?
No, just chill. So hang out.
Skin look all fresh. Like she doesn't need any of that.
She started exfoliating young, so she
Yeah,
just
you know what I'm
don't
saying?
last.
Like you got old bitches who just like women are just like really. They're really like overselling me on a used car. That's all you doing. Like this shit ain't straight off the factory
I see
assembly line. Like,
I see the
is,
miles on it, ma.
Yeah, I see.
Them elbows don't last me.
Word up. They trying to roll the odometer back. Nah,
Yeah.
bitch. I see I know
the
you trying to sell
mileage.
me a lemon. Like I know what the fuck's going on here.
Damn,
You know what I mean? That's why I be like we be talking about. I be advocating, man. Like these like. You know, being Muslim, we can have more than one wife, more than one woman and stuff, man. I think every dude should have more than one woman because it really benefits the chick.
I believe
It benefits
it.
them. It's not so much us. It benefits them. It's natural for us. It benefits them more so. What was you about to say?
No, it's like I'm leaning more towards that now. It's just finding somebody that'd be cool with it.
That'd be cool with it.
Yeah, and then it's like I actually believe them. It was just like, all right, you ain't gonna go crazy if I just dip my toe somewhere else.
We
But I
gotta
mean,
cool out.
that's
We
pretty much all. That's pretty much just the dating world. What I'm talking about is,
Yeah.
from my perspective of being Muslim, is that it's the responsibility of the man to maintain and protect women. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right. My thing is, when you're in the dating world, like it's so many chicks I debated this shit with, like about polygyny, about having more than one woman and shit. Is when you're dating a motherfucker, you already in it. You already dealing with a dude who got multiple women.
Yeah.
So it's a natural thing. You have so many dudes who are so-called monogamous,
I put that
but
in
they
my
have
head.
side bitches.
I put
So
that
it's
in my
like-
head with women too. Well, it's just like, yeah, you like I know you out here fucking. Like however you want to like.
chicks?
Yeah, well, it's just
But
like it's-
chicks, but this the thing with women though. It's easier for women to settle down with one dude than it is for a guy to settle down with one woman. Because women have been getting offers for dick since they've been. So it's easier for them to sift through and go, okay, I'll take that one. Because there's a million of them, million motherfuckers who want to fuck them. When I look at a chick's followers on their Instagram and how many likes they get, that's how many dicks is being thrown at them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cat calls have just converted to likes. That's all it is. So it's like
or comments.
or comments,
comments,
yeah.
likes. We all creeps. We be, you
Or
know what I mean?
eyeball emojis.
Them eyeball emojis.
I went through a phase. I went through a phase.
A
I was
gif?
just driving.
Nigga, you
Baby
send a
girl.
gif. You
You
send
send
a
a
gif
gif.
inside the inbox and shit. Yeah, we all
Oh,
creeps.
damn.
We're creeps. We stay creeps because it keeps us fresh. It keeps our mind sharp. It keeps us, you know what I mean?
Hunter's
it keeps
instinct
Hunter,
type shit.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yo, I'm
yeah.
still sexy.
Yeah.
But women, it's like, all right, they could sift through and go, all right, I want one. But it's like a dude, we need more than one. We do. We need it and they need it because it's like all it does is open up a pool of men that they can have. And I try to explain this to a chick. It's like they look, oh, y'all just want. It's like, no. If you see a dude from an Islamic perspective, if you see a man and you want that man, as long as he ain't got 4 women, you can have him too. You know what I mean? And so many chicks are phony to be like.
So and it's like the idea of like, all right, so if he's already talking to 2 women and they're happy, I can get in on that happiness, and he can handle that because that's what he's designed for.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Because it having more than one chick balances a nigga out. Because it doesn't give one woman too much power. And I had a analogy that I explained this on my podcast. I'm actually trying to turn it into a bit. But I was just like, men, we love monogamy like we love Madden. Like we love John Madden football. I said most women who hear that will be like, well, you know, y'all love John Madden football, so you must love monogamy because y'all playing it all the time. I said, but they don't realize our relationship with Madden. I said, we buy Madden every year, not because we love John Madden football that much. It's because every year we hope that John Madden football will be a better game. And every year it disappoints us.
Yeah.
And the only reason we keep buying Madden because it's the only game in town. I said because Madden has no pressure to improve as a game because there's no competition.
Yeah.
I said this is exactly the same thing with a woman. You know what I'm saying? Sadly, if you have one woman, she has no incentive to get better. As you're lucky to be with her until she know that you could get somebody else on your team and that you still have the ability to pull bitches. That's the only thing that snaps her back into. You know what I'm saying? And like if we watch like, your woman like she stopped doing all the things that she used to do. Then all of a sudden she only do it on your anniversary or on your birthday.
I heard those
That's
stories.
exactly what Madden is.
Yeah.
You had the hit stick. She used to suck your dick. It's the same shit. It's the same shit.
Yeah.
And all it does is like, yo, but every time you look at your woman, all you keep thinking about is NFL 2K5. It was like
why
that was the
didn't work?
ex-girlfriend that got away.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it was like, you know what? He gave us everything we ever wanted in a game, and we thought it, and we took it for granted, and now it's gone. It's like, so it's the same shit. So it's like, yo, that's what monogamy is. It's like Madden. It's the same shit. It's they abuse their power, and that's what chicks, they abuse their power. So if you only got one, she's gonna abuse her power. She can cut you off from having sex. She can do all this goofy shit that dudes be sitting there looking all sad and emasculated. But if you got 2 women, it's always gonna keep them on their toes. My father had 2 wives. He had 2 wives for 8 years, and he told me, he said, man, they compete in everything. They compete in cooking. They compete in everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it keeps the women on their toes because women compete with women all the time. Most of the shit they do to themselves.
Well, not yet.
is because of other
Nah,
chicks.
they are terrible at that. They are just vicious.
Yeah, because it's
that
like
shit.
these other bitches ain't gonna outdo me. So imagine being with 2 women who know about each other.
Oh my gosh, it's terrible.
You know what I'm saying? No, it
Yeah.
wouldn't be terrible for you. It'd be
No. For
It's good.
them.
And then it's because it's like I said, it's a struggle for both because now they have to improve, and then you also have to like
yeah.
pay attention to both of them. You know, you gotta you gotta hang out, do whatever the thing is. Yeah.
But we want that.
It's
You know what I mean?
And it's also very like it's what animals do. And it's funny that it's like
People forget
the
that
more
we
you
are
talk
still
about it, the more you
animals,
talk about it, it's like, oh shit, lions do this. Everything like any tribe, any species, any other species does some function of this, and it's and they're okay with it.
And I said,
monkeys do this shit.
Yo, and I said this shit.
Chimps,
right?
orangutan, they all do
said this
communities
shit,
of this shit.
You see the memes, right, that they post about get you a queen and build yourself an empire and to be a lion and a lioness. But they don't look at their relationship. The lion doesn't work.
No, he don't do
He
shit.
fucks multiple lionesses, and he doesn't go out and hunt. The women go and hunt. Then they bring their carcass back, and he's the first one to eat.
Yeah.
And the only time he fights once in a while.
Once in a while. Just a couple other dudes.
Another alpha, another baby boy, a Jody that's like him. He fights another Jody like him. And if he wins the fight, he gets his bitches. Like if that lion beats that lion up, he gets his bitches, he kills his kids.
Yeah.
And now he's got a bigger harem of lionesses that he can fuck and impregnate. His pride gets bigger, right?
Yeah.
Is what they call them, the fucking
Pride,
pride, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like we're just not as savage. We're more sophisticated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Little
From
nuances like
from an Islamic perspective, God gave us a law as human beings and go, okay, you can't do what the lions do. But this is what these are the parameters you can do that around.
But make this work somehow.
Yeah,
That's interesting. Hell yeah. No, yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, hoes better watch out, man. You got the old niggas teaching the new niggas.
We got the rule book.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yo, man, like I'm gonna tell you, like my daddy told me, man, y'all the prize. You got to realize that you're the prize because the older you get, you realize that you're the prize.
Started to that started early with me. It was the we had like 2 Asian girls, both of them were sisters in high school, and one of them was just wild, overdeveloped. She had titties since 7th grade, so like everybody stayed in her face, and like I just stayed. I was just like maybe always like the year after year, I was just like maybe this year I get it, maybe this year I get it. And then one time I was just like, you know what? The fuck am I doing? And so I just stopped. I just stopped paying. I just started ignoring her, stopped paying attention to her, and then she just started running in my face and shit like that. I'm like, oh, this is the dumbest shit
That's what
ever,
they do, bro.
It's the dumbest
That's
shit
what
ever.
they do because they figure, and you know why? You know why she ran into your face? Because she figured there was another bitch out there who you were giving your attention to.
You want to hear something?
That's exactly
you
what it
hear
was.
something? You want to hear something funny?
Hmm.
So this was like freshman, sophomore year. I would sit with her because it got to a point where it's just like, you know what? We just chill or whatever. Like, we can talk and tolerate being around each other and shit like that. Then it was like how you know, with the lunchroom, it's like everybody's just there and like just offer some random interaction. Now you just have somebody you just randomly talk to at lunch. It was like a group of girls sitting at the end of the table, and so like imagine I'm sitting right here. There's a table right there, and it's like 4 of them just sitting there. I didn't know they had beef with each other. These 4 girls, and then this one chick right here. But I just happened to be like one day, it was like, you know what? I was like, yo, I'm gonna just sit over here because like it was cool, whatever. And she was like, I don't understand why you want to sit over there with them. And then before she could say anything else, she just locked eyes with her. It was just like, what are you looking at? Why are you in my conversation for? Like, what's going? They just start scrapping this shit. Yo.
And you're the centerpiece behind all this shit.
My boy Rashard tried to be. He said, "Yo, I ain't even got girls fighting over me." I was like, "Yo, don't put that on me, son. don't put that on me." I was like, "Yo," that's when I was just like,
Dude.
"Yo, girls is great."
Yo, dude, women only wants a nigga that other women want. There was a chick I had a crush on, right? And she didn't give me the time of day, would try to play me out, all this shit, right? It wasn't until she saw the women, other girls or women, whatever, giving me the time of day or really like, oh, you're cute, such and such, such. Then now she wants to be in that circle.
Yeah.
Because like, what's up with him?
Yeah.
They only
or it's
want,
like the common joke where it's like women only want you when you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
It's like,
because
nigga, where was y'all 6 months ago?
But you know why? Yo, that happened to me when I got married to my wife, right? When I got married to my wife, all the women who I was dating or trying to date or getting to come, oh, I want to see you, hitting them with the WYD text and all that shit. who would shade me. As soon as I got married, yo, they was coming around like a motherfucker. It's like, because the thing is that all of the things that women look for in dudes to settle down in a quality individual, you only find in married motherfuckers. A motherfucker in a relationship. Family-oriented, responsible, gainfully employed, more than likely, right? Handling his business, You find that in a married motherfucker because we've gone through the whole phase. Single niggas ain't trying to be set. Women compete to get the single motherfucker because they want to be the pussy that brought them down. They want to be the one that go, I'm the one.
That's what they beat their chest about.
And that's when he chose me out of all you hoes and bitches. Not knowing he's still fucking the hoes and bitches on the side. But they want to feel for themselves that they're the one who took down this bucking Bronco who was just going around and they corralled them. That's all it's a pride thing for them.
Right.
But in the end, that dude becomes more attractive to more women because he's a solid man. He's in manhood now.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like he's a more viable, and as much as they want to deny it, that's what it is. They become more attracted to you because you're handling more responsibilities. Your mind ain't on getting pussy now because you're focused on other stuff. So then now you're gonna have more chicks finding you attractive. Everything a woman is looking for in a dude, you find in a married dude. You ain't finding a single motherfucker. Single motherfucker trying to get his dick wet.
That's it.
All the way trying to get your dick wet. That's all you trying to do.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But once you settle down and you good, and now you trying to buy you a house, you trying to do all this shit. Now these bitches want to come.
Yeah.
Because they want a piece of that. It's in them too. It's not so much us. It's in them too. They are attracted to motherfuckers who are stable.
Yeah.
When I was single, I wasn't stable. I was trying to hang out and fuck. That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
Until I got into my mind and got more into my religion and stuff, and then I was celibate for a minute, and then I was like, all right, I need to get married. But all before that, that's all you're trying to do as a dude.
Yeah.
And they don't understand this. And I've tried telling my sisters, I've tried to tell any woman I know.
When they be
look,
like, I don't never know
you
what guys are thinking. Like, fucking. That's about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Fucking.
Fucking. Anime.
The only reason we get a house or go get anything is just so that we can fuck
somewhere
comfortably.
to fuck. Yeah, somewhere to fuck.
Fuck
Yeah.
comfortably. All
Yeah.
right, now we have kids. All right, now they have to have somewhere to
That
watch
whole-
TV
yeah.
so I can try to fuck
Yeah.
while they're watching TV.
Yo.
I'm trying to get some ass. Your whole existence as a man is trying to get some ass, and then after you get some ass, it's like, all right, I have to pay this bill so I can continue to get ass.
Yeah.
And I have to buy food so that I can be satiated after getting ass and beforehand. Like, your whole existence is just trying to make your woman comfortable so that she can give you pussy. If you break it down to brass tacks, that's pretty much
It's
what
that.
it is.
It's that shit when people be like, at the end of the day, you're going to pay for pussy. Like,
Yes.
You're gonna be
Yeah.
paying for it.
Yeah, but
One
you're
way or
either
another.
paying the long game or the short game.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
if you buying pussy, like if a prostitute or whatever like that, like you Airbnb in the pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm married. That's
Getting
a
a
mortgage,
hotel
my
room,
nigga.
some shit.
I'm
Yeah.
upside down in that shit. Like, I am in a mortgage. You dating motherfuckers? That's you renting, you leasing. That's it with an option to buy. That's what it is. That's all it is. You are really paying
Yeah.
as a dude. But the thing is, like, all right, what type of quality human being or what type of quality woman are you gonna get? And that's what it all comes down to. Like in our book, in the Quran, it calls a woman a tilth. A tilth is similar to is like a garden. A tilth is something you put in it and something grows out of. So it's like it's a garden, which in other words is real estate.
Right.
Yeah.
Your woman is the most important real estate you're gonna have to choose.
Investment.
She's an investment.
Yeah.
And I say that in a bit. I got a bit on stage. I'll talk about that. And I've said you sit down, you sitting across. Really, internally, what we're thinking is this rent to own? Is this a month-to-month lease? Some women are, timeshares and Airbnb. You be Airbnb bitches. Like, this is how we think. Yeah, it's like, it's different levels. It's like, all right, so you decide what you want. And based on her, and women just think that they all are worthy of being that chick. It's like, look, they don't understand. We have standards too. You sit there and look at you and go, nah.
Nah, yeah.
I don't see this in the long haul.
Yeah, you ain't about your shit. What you
Yeah.
doing? Yeah.
That's why I told this comic friend of mine. I said, yo, why are you concerning yourself? Because he was telling me about how, like, when you first start talking to a chick and they start hitting you with the issues that they got going on. Oh, I ain't got no food in the house or about this and that. Like, I'm talking about you just texting them back and forth. You ain't even fuck. You ain't did nothing yet, but they already telling you about what's going on with them.
Yeah.
And he's like feeling some type of way about it. Like he feel like he's invested. Oh, because I'm talking to her. Maybe I should. I said, nigga, why are you getting beside yourself about an Airbnb? I said, if you was to rent an Airbnb, right, and a gutter is off the house, would you go, damn, I got to fix this gutter on this Airbnb?
Yeah.
It's like, no. It means that the owner of this Airbnb is not maintaining their house properly.
It takes
Damn,
it.
That is
yeah.
not.
That shit,
That
yeah.
is not something I should be
It's
concerned
not your
with.
job. Yeah.
That takes a that took me a couple times to just realize like I don't like talking to you. Like
Yeah.
we can't talk. Even your problems that you have, I don't even feel like giving you some type of answer to it or my opinion on it because I just don't.
Yeah, just
I have this don't concern me. Yeah,
It doesn't. You're not vested. Like they try to make their problems your problems to be. Their problems is your responsibility to solve for them. They want you to solve their problem, but they don't want to listen to any advice you give. Solve my problem, nigga.
I don't like that.
Give me
I
this
don't like
$40,
that. No.
this $60.
No, I don't like
but
that.
if you
I
go,
don't- I
hey,
don't-
you know what? I don't think
Yeah.
what you're doing is good. Who are you, my father?
Yeah.
Like apparently you want me to
Apparently
fix
so,
this gutter.
yeah.
It's like,
Oh
why
my
the fuck
God.
should I
It
buy
all
food
boils
for
down
your-
to where you want to eat. It's like I
There
don't
you
know.
go.
It's the same shit. It's like
Yeah.
literally it all boils down to at some level. It's like I know the thing we should do because I know how to get to this point, but you either gonna do it or not. And now it's just like this isn't worth. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you gotta change.
Sometimes you do be like,
So I gotta change.
yeah.
But they don't think they have to.
Yeah.
It's accept me
Because
for how
I gotta
am.
change. I gotta do this. I gotta do the growing. I gotta get the all right. Let me get this right. Let me get this finances in order. And it's like it's funny. It's like you do all that. Just I don't know. I've always said this. It's like all these dudes. Like Bill Gates has done what he's done to talk to some chick who works at this fucking his
At
local
Wendy's.
Yeah, at Wendy's. Yeah.
Women
'Cause
don't
in
have
the
to
back
work
of his-
that
In
hard.
the back
Yeah.
of his head, he's still thinking about old girl from high school. He's like, I get this, and it's like you realize that you're at such a level. She ain't even
She ain't even in your league.
She's still working at what you call it. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
doesn't matter anymore.
But as long as she got pussy, she will believe she's always in your league.
Absolutely.
That's the arrogance.
Because the mother, because there's a nigga from IBM that's in the DMs right now.
Word up. She's just finished doing a double shift. Smell like my
Yeah,
bad.
you
It
good.
smell like onions and
Yeah.
French fries and shit.
she got that collared shirt that's
Word
small
up.
color.
Smell like bacon.
Yo, I
Bacon
swear to
eggs.
God, girls from Newark are the only. They're not the only ones, but they're the ones in my life that they don't have. Like they cannot have shit and make you feel like shit for having shit. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
It's like you could be in a car pushing up on a chick stand on a bus stop. And she will make you feel like you broke than a motherfucker. Like what you got ain't enough. It's like, bitch, you don't even have a car.
Yeah.
You are catching the bus like,
You got
in the
change
dead
in
of
your
winter.
hand.
And then you got to check yourself. Like, why am I talking to this bitch?
Yeah.
Like,
The audacity.
Oh my gosh.
Oh shit.
You got any closing thoughts?
Hey, we
do we have any?
yeah.
Like we've covered,
we've
run the gamut.
We've done it all. It's great. We went from nerd shit to just hoteps, and I like it.
That's what happened.
I like this energy.
I had
though.
to
It's
check.
fun.
I had to check Quan one time. Somebody
Yeah.
put him on speaker, and he was on shit. He was just like what's going on with my brother? I was like, ease up, Quan. It's 12 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock.
It's too late for all that.
It's too.
Look,
like
I
no,
already-
it was the afternoon. I was
Oh,
like,
afternoon,
Quan,
too
I'm
early.
like, it's
12 in the
too-
afternoon. Oh,
It's too early. It's like I've only spoken to Quan Wiggins a couple times, but like I felt comfortable enough telling him, I was like, not right now, man. Not right now, Quan.
yo,
No, right up.
these are conversations me and Rod have. Like, we would have like I'm talking about like 2 o'clock in the
This
morning.
is when
1
I
o'clock in the morning.
first got here, and I was going through like, nah, I'm gonna do it. And I was like, yo, I hate this fucking city. All these goddamn commitments. Like I was just frustrated about everything.
Yeah.
And then we talked to this nigga, and then he was going on about a rant. I'm like, this is hilarious. Like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
I mean, I'm mad upset.
Just
like
going-
upset and
just going
because I
on.
share this same
yeah,
content
and then
with-
we just be talking,
contentment.
just two
Yeah.
Jersey niggas in a fucking diner somewhere. Just talk.
Mm.
Yo, that one time it was me, you, Gordon and Ryan.
Gordon and who?
Gordon Baker Bone, and then Ryan,
Ryan who?
I think he like Puerto Rican, like Latino or something. Curly hair, goatee. I think he's like active in Jersey City.
Where were we at?
We were at the cellar.
Ryan Roman?
Yeah, that.
Okay.
We were just
Bugging.
out. Like like somebody actually walked past and tried to make a comment. Was just like, oh yeah, you're having a ball over here. I'm like, man, shut the fuck
Shut the
up.
fuck up. Yo, it's just like, man,
Jersey
having those-
niggas, man.
Yo, having those sitting around having those conversations, man, and just talking about shit. Cause being from Jersey, you just have a different perspective on stuff. You know, like
fucking Gordon
being a stepchild.
Gordon fucking celebrated a Jersey being like, what was it, like the number 1, number 2
least patriotic country.
Oh, I didn't see that.
State in the country.
Jersey is something else, man.
Yeah.
It's something else.
I dig it, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, we ran the gamut, man. I appreciate this. This was
Thanks for coming.
This
through,
is
man.
very cathartic. This is, got some shit off. Was able to talk about some stuff.
Hell yeah.
I gotta have you on my shit. I gotta have.
yeah.
Is it all right for me to plug that?
We usually let people plug all their shit, whatever they got.
Oh,
going
okay.
on.
Yeah.
We were doing like shows, but since we've been releasing them a little later, we just say like whatever your social is.
Yeah.
Any projects you're working on, shit like that.
Yo.
But yeah, his podcast is dope, man. It's really like I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that episode with me, you, and V Lentz.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That
I had
shit
V
was-
Lentz mad.
Yeah.
That's my girl though.
Yeah.
I had her
Yeah.
mad
Yeah.
cause I literally.
He made her voice crack. And he was
Dude,
like, I did it.
I did. I said what happened
Is that
was
one out right now?
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah. I put him out, baby. I put him out. It was the one. Is reparations for Dolezal. I think that's episode like 13. Reparations for Dolezal. And we was touching on mad shit, and me and V, we were talking about gentrification.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, and she made a point, and I wrapped around and used her own point against her, and she got upset.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Just meet in the middle, right, V? Meet in the middle. And she was like, I hate you. I hate you. Because my thing is like with women, with I'm not intimidated to go, and like I say, V is a very good comic, funny sister, intelligent and everything, but in the end, she's still a woman. And it's like for me, I grew up with a lot of sisters, so I'm not intimidated to go back and forth with someone of the fair sex. You get what I'm saying? I do it with my wife all the time because I've grown up, because I have an innate thing with me. Because you have a lot of brothers who just, oh yeah, well, the women, that's how they think, and they just cower. And it's like, dude, I've grown up around. I'm the oldest of 9, my nigga.
I did that shit the other night. With who? It was me, you, Dara, and Short.
Oh, you talking about Onika? With Onika, yeah.
She said something, and then something triggered in my mind. I was like, I think this relates. I should shut up. I was like, nah, I'm gonna say it. And then as soon as I said it, she was like, they ain't had shit to do with nothing. I'm like, you right.
Yeah, he cowered out.
And then he was just like, nah, like that's why he did it. I was just like, nah, I'm just shut the fuck up.
Nah, don't. Because the thing is like, why do that to yourself?
For that one specifically, it was more of like I was just saying something, but then she said that.
Because
were you saying that? Were you just like, no, I have this innate thing of like I grew up with sisters, so it's like
sisters.
So I'm gonna argue. I grew up with having.
It's not even arguing. It's I have an innate thing where I actually listen to women and what they say. So, because I've been listening to women my whole life, I had no other choice. Like I'm outnumbered. It's my mom, my aunt, my great aunt, my cousin.
I felt that way about all the aunts and shit that I had. Where it's just like it's just now.
They outnumber you, so it's like you sit and you actually listen to the hypocrisy and the double talk. You actually listen, and you're like, when you listen and you really compute the way we think, you go, that don't make no fucking sense. And the only way that they're able to get you is like when we was with me and V, is with an emotional argument that make me feel like I'm wrong. They want you to make you feel wrong, even though you're not wrong. And the thing is for you to stick to your guns and go, nah, I'm not wrong. And that's really what a whole relationship with a woman is like. Your woman is always going to test your mettle as a man.
Now,
to see if you're gonna stick to your guns.
I'll
you
do
stick
it.
To your guns, nigga.
I'll do it randomly, where it's like it's almost unconsciously. Where I went and got coffee with a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like getting the coffees. I was about to pay for it. And then she was just trying to be like cute or silly or whatever. And she was like sliding a little snack off to the side.
For you to pay for it?
Yeah, like she wanted it. Now, I never have a problem with it. It was like whatever, but for some reason right then and there, I was like, I'm not paying for just without it, not even skipping a beat, I was just like, I'm not paying for that. And then it was a awkward 3 seconds where I was just staring at the cashier. Well, she's like, what is going on? I'm like, 2 coffees.
Yeah, because she was testing how far, because that's what women do. They push your buttons to see, all right, how can I maneuver. And then when you like this stalwart motherfucker, where it's like, all right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then they like, okay, I can respect it. That's what they do. They're gonna test.
Oh, yeah.
And then what happens is if they make you a sissy, then they don't want you no more.
Yeah.
If you're a pushover, they don't want you no more, and they'll cheat on you with a motherfucker who don't give a fuck about them. You know what I mean? So you have to be able to stand your ground. Once you stand your ground, they respect you. You know what I mean? But you just can't cower out, and I think that's what a lot of us do as men. We just cower to whatever is going, and that's why you see a lot of these henpeck niggas that's around who henpeck men. It's like they kind of just pander to women and whatever women say or whatever. It's like my thing is, like, remember we talked about that with the male feminists and stuff. Guys who be like, I'm a male feminist. I said, I don't trust them motherfuckers. Because a guy who's be like, yo, he's so like, I'm a male feminist. Like, to me, he reminds me of a dude. To me, they the biggest creeps. To me, they feel like a motherfucker who will steal something from you and help you look for it. They like, those are the ones that women really gotta look out for.
Yeah.
It's like, because I'm a man and I respect women, but I don't have to agree with you all the time.
It'll be the male feminists that end up being like the fucking the fucking Brooklyn rapists.
But that's what
like
they was talking about with y'all was brought up when we was talking about Louis.
Yeah,
they was like, that's the thing with Louis. Was like Louis was putting himself out to be this feminist, and then all this shit start coming out about him.
Yeah,
but it's like it's one of those things. It's like you don't have to hate yourself as a dude to put dudes down to respect women. You can still respect women. I respect women. Yeah. You just don't. You can treat them like human beings, which they are.
Yeah.
But I don't have to.
But the thing about treating someone like a human being is also holding them accountable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
like, now, if I treat you, if you're always right and I'm always wrong, you're not a human being.
Right.
You're like a thing or
an idea.
You're an idea, and it's like, no, you gotta get checked on your flaws.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I gotta check you on your shit. Like,
and that's really what
you gotta let me get mad at you.
And that's what
you gotta let me get mad at you because I'm pissed.
And that's part of manhood too. Is that they don't really want to accept that too. Is that's part of our job. Is the checks and balances to keep them in line. Especially when you're gonna understand when you get into like a marriage, is that your responsibility most of the time as a man, outside of being a provider and protective from an outside force, is also you protect the motherfuckers from themselves. You know what I mean? You can be like, yo, that's not, I don't like where that's going. You're an advisor. Then eventually shit keep going down a certain way. You like, all right, I gotta put my foot down. Because you're protecting your shit from going under. Yeah. It's like a business. You know what I mean? Like, yo, all right, I don't like the way you running these books. Shit, yo, we got a merger coming up soon. And I gotta make sure this shit on the up and up.
Don't make me regret giving you this position
right now.
fudging
these numbers? Are you fudging these numbers?
Are you fudging these shits? Like,
where this bag come from? Where the fuck did this bag come from?
We got an audit. There's an audit coming. There's an auditor coming, and you fucking up. How are we gonna have this merger? I'm trying to make other moves.
You just don't want to see me win, do you?
Yeah. Exactly. This is a hostile takeover.
Spiteful.
Oh yeah, and now you working backwards. Like you got a motherfucker working against you. Like nah, you gotta kind of, you know what I mean? That's part of it. Like he said, you gotta hold motherfuckers accountable. Like yo, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's the same thing I do. I got daughters. One that's 18, the other one is 21. It's like I gotta put in their head about the world. It's like I'm not gonna. This world ain't for ain't gonna deal with you with kid gloves.
Yeah.
So as your father, I'm gonna have to. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to give you right advice. Right. And I'm gonna have to tell you about like anybody that have any girls, like they're my stepdaughters. It's like, but I'm telling them about, we get into like, look, this is how a man thinks. And I'm not saying that, I'm not telling you that to subdue how you operate. I'm just giving you foreknowledge. So you can understand where a nigga coming from when he say something. Yeah, put you on game. That's what I try to do with my sisters. It's the same thing. It's like, yo, listen, dudes think like this. I'm giving you inside information. I'm not telling you should cower out to a dude. I'm just telling you, like, yo, if a dude say this is where he's coming from. This is his perspective. This is how he's seeing things. Sometimes they want us to adjust our shit to how, like, nah, we see things a certain way, you see things a certain way. Yeah. The whole thing is about what we was talking about, meeting in the middle.
Meet in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Find that common ground, argue it out, and then you're happy in that little spot.
Yeah.
But it takes work to get there.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of work.
People don't know. They want these dudes to be they want them to guilt themselves.
Yeah.
And to be, well, I want some pussy, so I'm.
But the way you say it, it's like if you guilt them into that way, they ain't gonna want you. So it's like
not
why?
a guy
So
that,
like you're working against yourself and me at
yes,
the same time.
yes.
Like,
You're not
fucking
even
me up.
fulfilling your position as a dude
Right.
that these chicks would want and feel comfortable around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you're not a man.
Yeah.
You know, so you're you know, I don't know. Women don't understand how much power they have. They set the market. They set the market as to how we operate. You know what I mean? And then we adjust ourselves accordingly. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if like I remember a chick, like we were talking about earlier about how women will do something and make a decision about something, and then they'll make you feel responsible for what the decision that they do. Like you see all these chicks with fake bodies, and fake titties, and fake ass, and fake this and that. How many times have or fake hair? And it was like, yo, how many times have we told, especially black women, we love you the way you look? And they'll go, no, you can't tell me what to do with my body, blah, blah, blah. I do what I want, such and such. All right, cool. Now they'll go and get all the fake shit, right? Then they'll go, we go and do this because this is what y'all like. It's like, no, nigga, we don't like this. How long have we been saying we don't like this?
One nigga that don't like you, so now
yeah. All you really doing is keeping up with them, with the other goofy chicks.
Yeah.
But we've been telling you for the longest, we don't like that.
Right.
I like flaws.
Yes. Nigga, that little
You're
cellulite on the back of the
grounded
leg
in
and
reality.
nigga,
It's hot.
The
yes.
tiger stripes.
The
If I see the tiger stripes
yes,
popping
the
out the
stretch
side,
marks, my nigga.
ooh, that means you grew into that ass.
Sexy. Yes.
He's just like,
That ass has a backstory, not a receipt. there ain't no billables behind that ass.
Yeah.
There is some childhood trauma.
That's heritage.
Yeah.
heritage right there.
Yeah, you
That's
got
homegrown.
Well, what about the ain't nothing better than a former fat chick. A girl that was fat
I've learned.
and got small, but
Yeah.
still kept the fat girl personality.
Yeah.
I've learned.
They
that-
are the best.
I've learned to see what it's
Humble.
like when a big.
And fine as fuck with no knees.
What it, That's the end of the episode.
You said what you
That's the
said?
end of the episode. There's nothing going past that. This has been Negro Jump.
Hashtag Negro Jump.
Hashtag